Hello everybody, welcome to Silverstone. I hope you're as excited as I am. As you can see, the tension is starting to build just behind me. As we can see, we've got the Caterham 7 UK Championship cars almost ready to go out on track for the opening race of the weekend. But we've got a lot to bring you, haven't we? We've got a lot more Caterham action, and then it's the small matter of Brit car as well. The likes, we've got Ferraris, we've got Audis, we've got McLarens, we've got Porsches, you name it, Aston Martins. They're all going to be on your screen today, and it's going to be a real treat. Of course, first we've got a small matter of the Caterhams to get underway, haven't we? So let's go for a little walk, shall we? It is the Caterham 7 UK Championship. As we can see here, car number 91, Gordon Sayer, is here. Let's have a quick chat with Gordon. Gordon, it stayed dry. Is that good for you?
No, I don't actually like a wet race. Would be good fun around here. I think it really mix things up. I think it's going to be a bit of a toll fest in the dry.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
When I drove in this morning, it was bucketing it down. I thought, how on earth can anybody drive in a car with no roof in these conditions? But fortunately, we're going to be okay. What can you do from where you are in the grid? Are you feeling confident?
Yeah, no, the boys, my teammates were all pretty quick in testing and stuff. This is my first. They tried out some new tyres. This is my first. It's going to be my first lap on new tyres. So
nice.
I'm looking forward to having the grip. I was missing the last 2 days. So yeah, anything could happen.
Fantastic, Gordon. Best of luck for the race, won't you? We'll certainly enjoy it. Let's just move a bit down. Don't forget, with the Caterham 7 UK Championship, there's a small out of the Super Pole we had a little bit earlier as well. Here we are with Chris Aubrey as well, going to start the race in fourth. Chris, you look a man ready and prepared. In fact, you were the first car here, weren't you?
I was the first
everybody's
car here,
following you. What are you expecting from the race here?
So this is the best start I've had ever since I joined the 420 series.
Congratulations.
So obviously the wet did me some favours. It's going to be tough, but I'm hoping to still keep my position. Stay in the top 5 would be great. That would be a good result for me. Let's
talk Silverstone, because it is quite wide out there, isn't
it?
There are plenty of opportunities to sort of go around people and obviously do a bit of defending at some points as well, maybe?
Yeah, it's a tough one. Obviously, if you're defending, then potentially giving up the right position to get on the next straight. But yeah, it's not going to be easy. There's a lot of towing goes on around here, so it's quite. It's you can have cars jumping 2 cars through the tow. So yeah.
We know with Caterhams it's always close races.
Yeah,
best of luck. Congratulations, by the way. Yeah. There we go. Chris Aubrey there just got his best ever start in the championship. Sorry guys, let's grab a quick word with James, shall we? Or James,
hi there.
How are you first of all, and are you glad it's not rained?
Well, I'm not sure. We'll wait and see what the track conditions are like when we get out there. It was pretty changeable this morning. Super Bowl was definitely a bit drier. We found that a bit trickier. These are slick tyres. We don't know how the track is. We'll work out. Ask me after, and I'll tell you whether it was preferred or not.
When you did qualifying, was there any slippy bits out there that you're thinking, oh, don't go there?
Literally everywhere. No, there were a mixture of wet and dry lines, and yeah, credit to Will, who did the best job out of us consistently in exploiting that. But yeah, it feels good to be close enough to the front. We know in the dry, it doesn't matter where you start. This is going to be an exciting Caterham style race.
I don't know how you guys do it, because there's no room to breathe, is there? There really isn't in these things.
It's it's 20 pretty intense minutes, so looking forward to it.
Best of luck, James.
Cheers, appreciate it.
Enjoy the car before the storm. Let's just move down a little bit further. We've got Stephen Nuttall here as well, made it into the top 6 Super Pole shootout as well. And of course he's got a very famous livery on this Caterham, isn't there, Stephen? Just admiring the livery, actually, the sort of the Lotus black and gold. Is that on purpose, or is it just how it came about?
No, I've run that colour scheme for a few years now, since I started. What feels like a long time ago, but I've always run the JPS livery.
It's absolutely cracking. Look, we've got a feast of 20 minutes of action coming up. Are you ready for this? What's the plan of action? Are you looking to sort of take advantage of a few people, maybe been a touch tentative on the opening laps?
Yeah, I'm going to go for that. I think I'm out of position a little bit here. Poor qualifying from my part, so only myself to blame. But yeah, I think you've got to battle to the front pretty quickly, so I'll be taking no prisoners on the first lap or 2.
Oh, good man. Taking no prisoners, best of luck. So that's what we like to hear, isn't it? Taking no prisoners. Right, we're actually running quite a bit ahead of schedule at the minute, which is great, isn't it? Because it means we get some action going straight ahead. So I'm going to hand back to Dave Goddard, who's going to take you through all of the action. It's going to be a thriller here at Silverstone.
Thanks very much, Ian. Yes, good afternoon, ladies and gents. Welcome, race fans, to Silverstone Circuit. mildly damp conditions across the course of this morning. We have 5 races for you this afternoon. As we've just heard, the Caterham 7 UK Championship is up very shortly, running slightly ahead of schedule here at Silverstone today. It'll be a 20-minute race first of all for the Caterham 7 UK Championship in association with Avon Tyres. After that we will have a 30-minute race for the Caterham 7 310R Championship, then the Caterham Roadsport Championship, and then the 270R Championship, all termed to the different spec of Caterhams here this weekend. We'll explain them to you as we get to their races across the course of the programme. And then we have a 2-hour race for the Brick Car Endurance Championship. Yes, saw them in action about 3 weeks ago at Alton Park, and the Goodyear Brick Car Endurance and Praga Championship is back here today. First of 2 days of racing on the full Grand Prix layout here at Silverstone, the circuit used for the British Grand Prix every year, but the old pits are going to be used across the course of the weekend up near Copse Corner. That's the schedule for tomorrow as well. Plenty of Caterham races. We've also got the Brick Car Endurance Championship trophy category with 2 50-minute races taking place tomorrow, and also we're joined by the Caterham Academy on tomorrow's programme as well for a single race over 20 minutes. That's the Caterham Championship for novice racers. You have to have no previous race experience to be able to race in the Caterham Academy. It then moves up to the Roadsport class, the 7 270R and the 310R Championship. The 310R is the more powerful. The Caterham 7 UK Championship, though, is a much more powerful category. They are very fast cars indeed, and they're going to be very spectacular across the course of the weekend in their 3 races here at Silverstone. This is going to be something very special indeed. Great to have them with us here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit this weekend. Quick look at the spec of the cars, the Caterham 7 UK Championship. It's a full race specification car as opposed to the road car based machines that we see in the other series. Caterham Motorsports built 180 bhp, max RPM of 7,600 with a 6-speed sequential gearbox, bespoke Bilstein race suspension, and running on bespoke Avon tyres as well, with a limited slip differential, minimum weight of 635 kilos. These are the fastest cars that we will see from the Caterham Cars Championships here this weekend. We should have 16 cars on the grid. There's even a little bit of sun burning through the clouds ahead of this first race. Let's have a look at the grid then. The top 6 on the grid set by a super pole 1-lap shootout qualifying session earlier on. And it's number 27, William Smith, who has taken pole position alongside 91 of Gordon Sawyer. Second row, we have number 3, James Murphy, and 12 of Chris Aubrey. Row 3, number 80, Alex Jordan, and 46 is Stephen Nuttall. Then on the fourth row, the cars that didn't make it into Super Pole, 34, Ian Sparshott, 19, Graham MacDonald, who is the CEO of Caterham Cars. So the boss is racing here this weekend. Row 5, we have got Johnny Jarrett in 21 and number 10 of Henry Heaton. Row 6 is number 78, Chris Hutchinson, alongside 66 of Jake Swan-Dixon. Row 7, 25, Neil Fraser, alongside 77 of Rob Watts. The final row, 88, Tom Allen, and 64, Tom Eaton. 16 cars out there for our first 20-minute race of the weekend. Now, they were lapping just over 2.5 minutes in the qualifying session on the long circuit here at Silverstone. There is the wing building. Those pits not being used this weekend, though. The pits are over by the old Woodcut and Copse section, the old Formula 1 pits that we used before the wing was built. Great to see quite a few of you watching on YouTube already. Do say hello if you are in the comments section. Hi to Phil Memory and also Peter Walker. A couple of our commenters so far on YouTube. There is the front row. Number 27, William Smith, the garage owner from Suffolk, who starts on pole position. I must say a big thank you to Caterham Cars, who've given me nearly 200 pages of info in their media pack this weekend. We won't have time to read all of that, unfortunately. So it's number 27, William Smith, who will take pole. That's almost copper-coloured car with the black nose. He's won 2 Caterham Championships in his time. He's won the Supersport Championship a few years ago, won the Academy Championship in 2013 on his move up from karting. Very quick Caterham racer. He was Supersport champion in 2016, returning after a year out in 2020. Alongside him will be the number 91 car, which is Gordon Sawyer. He's been racing Caterhams for a few years now. The Irish-born racer lives in Crawley in Sussex. Began racing back in 2009 in the Academy Championship. Of course, most of these drivers started off in the Caterham Academy, which we'll see tomorrow, the Novices Championship. Second row of the grid, we have the number 3, the black and orange car. That is James Murphy. The reigning champion is certainly John Byrne, not out in this series. We'll try and get the points chart up on my screen if we can, so we can see how the season has gone so far for these drivers. Watch out for Stephen Nuttall. He's raced in various series over the years with Caterhams, including the CSCC Magnificent Sevens. It is him who leads the championship. In fact, he's taken a couple of wins this year already. He had 2 wins at Donington at the opening weekend of the year, was second in the other race behind James Murphy there. The second round of the championship was up in Scotland at Knockhill. Henry Heaton, car number 10, had a win there. He had 2 wins, in fact, my apologies, and Gordon Sawyer won the other. So plenty of different winners in this Caterham UK Championship. The fastest cars we'll see across the Caterham spectrum this weekend. I'm really looking forward to this. We should see lots and lots of slipstreaming. Cars probably going round all in one huge pack in the early stages of this race. Just awaiting the all clear then from the circuit officials to get the cars out onto track. They will do 1 lap round to the grid and then we'll be underway from a standing start. Number 80 there, the pink car of Alex Jordan. Number 12 on the second row, that is Chris Aubrey. Heard from him a little earlier in the black and yellow. Now where's Henry Heaton qualified? Back on row 5. The car's now released from the assembly area. 180 horsepower, 4 engine machines. There's Henry Heaton, the chrome blue car. Saw go through there, number 10. 64 at the back is Tom Eden in the yellow car. It's going to be a good one. Henry Heaton in number 10 looking to come through, trying to chase down Stephen Nuttall for the championship lead. They will do a warm-up lap. The safety car out on circuit, the Jaguar. This will be a 20-minute race. This isn't going to take long. The green flag's waving, so this is the final warm-up lap. James Murphy just twitching about there. He's third in the championship. Stephen Nuttall leads by just 3 points ahead of Henry Heaton after the weekends at Donington and Knockhill. Total of 7 race weekends this year. They're hoping to go to Spa-Francorchamps, subject to travel restrictions later this year. In Belgium, then the Brands Hatch Indy Circuit, Alton Park, and finally Cadwell Park up in Lincolnshire. See, the circuit is dry at the moment, so they're on slick Avon tyres for this one. Number 19, that's the boss, Graham MacDonald. And there is that beautifully liveried car of Henry Heaton, number 10, the sort of chrome blue-green, sort of sea green colour. 88 going through there towards the back, that's Tom Allen. Tom Eden at the back in the yellow car. And this race is going to prove you don't need a massive grid of Caterhams for a good race on the Silverstone circuit. They head down the Hanger Straight up towards the daunting right-hander at Stowe Corner. Any one of these drivers could win this. I'm making no prediction whatsoever. William Smith on pole as the pace car leads them into Roughill, the left-hander in the background at Brooklands. Left-hander at Club, I should say. Then up the Sir Lewis Hamilton Straights. He's rather busy over in Austria at the moment, of course. Right-hander at Abbey after the Formula 1 pits. Then it's through the infield loop section. That's the Village and Farm complex. And then it's into the loop and along the Wellington Straight. We'll see lots of slipstreaming there as they go under the bridge. Quite a few fans of William Smith we see in the YouTube comments at the moment. He's on pole position in the sort of chrome copper car. Alongside him, Gordon Sawyer, the black and yellow machine. And James Murphy in black and orange. Also in black and yellow is Chris Aubrey. Black with the gold stripe, the old John Player Special Lotus colours. Stephen Nuttall in pink, and no mistaking Alex Jordan's car. They're the top 6 that contested the Super Pole session after qualifying, similar to motorcycle racing. Each of the top 6 drivers getting one flying lap to set the top 6 on the grid. Well, they'll come up to the grid for the standing start this time, then pole position on the outside line here at Silverstone, of course. The course car lets them through. Number 25, that's Neil Fraser in the orange and black car. Former powerboat racer, so perhaps he's hoping for rain today. The Orange Army, our volunteer marshals, bring them up to the grid for the first race of the weekend here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Race 1 of the weekend then, the Caterham 7 UK Championship in association with Avon Tyres. All these cars running on Avon slicks. 27 William Smith on pole, 91 Gordon Sawyer alongside. James Murphy number 3 on the second row alongside number 12 of Chris Aubrey. Row 3 Alex Jordan and Stephen Nuttall. Ian Sparshott and Graham MacDonald on the fourth row. Johnny Jarrett and Henry Heaton in 21 and 10 completing the top 10 on the grid. Waiting for the all clear from the marshals at the back. You'll see the green flag waved. Once everybody is into line, there is the green flag. It's time to go racing here on the Silverstone circuit, the home of British motorsports, about to get underway with the Caterham 7 UK Championship. Once the red lights go out, we will be underway, and off they go. 20 minutes of racing gets underway. Down towards the first corner. Is it going to be Gordon Sawyer or William Smith? William Smith leads the way in car number 27. Everybody else away okay behind. Through goes the number 77 of Rob Watts, the Dayglow yellow and black car, as they charge their way up towards the Maggots and Beckett's complex for the first time. It is William Smith, number 27, under pressure from Gordon Sawyer. Looks like third place is James Murphy in number 3, Chris Aubrey in number 12 in fourth position. They head out of Beckett's and it's onto the Hanger Straight. Alex Jordan having a look up the inside there in the pink car. He's going to go past Chris Aubrey into fourth place as they start to sort themselves out. Watch for them fanning out across the straight. Here we go, trying to slipstream each other. 46 of Steve Nuttall trying to make a move down the inside. The first 3 have broken away slightly. Gordon Sawyer having a look for the lead as they go into Stowe Corner there. Hear the squeal of these Avon slick tyres. It looks like Sawyer's got the inside coming out of Stowe as they go along the Vale towards the Club Corner complex. Who's going to be leading? It looks as though William Smith has held his lead. James Murphy's got through into second place into the Club complex. Gordon Sawyer goes down to third. Stephen Nuttall is up to fourth. So the opening exchanges, and it looks like Henry Heaton trying to move up there on the outside, went a bit wide coming out of Club onto the Hamilton Straights, then up towards the right-hander at Abbey. 4 and 5 abreast in the pack. There's Heaton just ahead of Rob Watts in the 77. Behind them is number 12 Chris Aubrey. He's dropped back a few spots, hasn't had the best of the opening lap. Somebody running wide over the grass there on the run through Village and Farm, and it's going to spin out. That's the number 70 car, I think, 78 I should say, of Chris Hutchinson, who's had the spin there. Now hopefully he can get that car going again, otherwise we might have a safety car if he can't rejoin, but it's a long lap here, so he's got plenty of time to do so. The leaders on the Wellington Straight, under the bridge down towards the left-hander at Brooklands. Through they go. There is Henry Heaton chasing Graham McDonald, the boss of Caterham, the CEO, into Luffield Bend. William Smith from James Murphy now up into second place. Gordon Sawyer is third. Stephen Nuttall is fourth. Those four trying to break away as they come round to complete lap number 1 in this Caterham 7 UK Championship race. The first of 3 races for them this weekend. William Smith weaving about, trying to break the toe that James Murphy is trying to establish. Nuttall going through into third ahead of Gordon Sawyer. Then the next pack, it's Henry Heaton up to fifth. He's going to try and chase down the leaders. Then Rob Watts. And from the back of the grid, Tom Eden was briefly 7th there, but he's run wide out of Copse Corner. Through goes Alex Jordan once again. The leaders into the Beckett's complex. William Smith just ahead. The lead gap was less than half a second at the end of lap 1. Over the line they go, over the curb they go, I should say, at Beckett's. Now the leader defending from James Murphy, trying to get down the outside into the right-hander at Stowe Corner. And almost 4 square for the lead. Look at Stephen Nuttall up the inside in the 46. They're going to go 3 wide into Stowe. Murphy around the outside. There's contact. And there goes the first rear wing flying off. That came off William Smith's car. It's not a Caterham race unless you lose a few of those, so the drivers say. But William Smith has lost the lead and there was contact there. Hopefully there's not damage to his suspension. Hopefully it was just cosmetic damage there, but Murphy's got the lead ahead of Smith, Nuttall, Sawyer. Rob Watts is up into 5th place. He's running well. 6th is Henry Heaton. Down the Hamilton Straight towards Abbey Corner. There is the 27 of William Smith retaking the lead on the inside. He slipstreamed past James Murphy. This is Caterham racing at its best already here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit through village and farm. Still the order remains the same. Alex Jordan back in 7th. Now who's he got behind him there? I think that's the 21 of Johnny Jarrett possibly. Chris Hutchinson I think has got going again after his spin. Well done to the marshals there recovering the debris. That can be returned to William Smith at the end of the race. Well, he's got the lead back again in his slightly lightened car. Henry Heaton up to 5th. Then it's Watts, Jordan. I think that's Graham McDonald behind them in the number 19. William Smith back in the lead then, having slipstreamed through at Abbey ahead of James Murphy in the number 3. Plenty more opportunities to slipstream their way past each other. That's how you overtake in Caterhams. Use the toe off the car in front of you. Here come the leaders down towards Copse Corner. James Murphy tries to get the inside, but trying to go around the outside was Stephen Nuttall there. Through towards the Beckett's complex. This is going to be an interesting one. Has Stephen Nuttall got through into second? Yes, he has. He's got a head round the outside at Copse. You don't see that very often. 5 minutes gone, 15 to go in this Caterham 7 UK Championship race. Swing their way through Beckett's once again. Smith, Nuttall and Murphy, the 3 leaders, nose to tail, onto the Hanger Straights. Side by side, trying to get round the outside and trying for the inside is James Murphy. Look at this, 3 wide into Stowe Corner again. Nuttall takes the lead on the outside. Murphy could get through for second place. There's more wheel banging between the 2 of them. Gordon Sawyer in 4th, then Heaton, Watts, Jordan, McDonald, and the rest of them come through. So that's Jake Swan-Dixon up behind them now in the 66. Through the club complex they come. It's Stephen Nuttall, the championship leader, to the front now. Started back in 6th on the grid from the Superpole session. Incidentally, the drivers in Superpole, all their laps were slower than the regular qualifying sessions. They swarm up on Stephen Nuttall again, and Smith has retaken the lead. It looks as though Stowe Corner and Abbey are the overtaking spots in this race. Smith back in front, Nuttall second, and Gordon Sawyer's towing up onto the back of James Murphy now as well. This is cracking stuff for the lead. Rest of the pack files through. Did Chris Hutchinson get going again after his spin? Yes, he did. He's still running at the back of the field. He'll concentrate on the leaders. There's Hutchinson just coming through the infield complex now. Up towards the Wellington Straight. Here they come. Still the 27 of William Smith into Brooklands. Gordon Sawyer up the inside. He's going to take the number 3 of James Murphy. And look at Henry Heaton in the number 10 car in 5th place, closing up on this quartet now. So it could be 5 for the lead shortly. 6th is Rob Watts, then Alex Jordan, Graham McDonald, Jake Swan-Dixon and Tom Eden from the back of the grid completing the top 10 ahead of Neil Fraser in the 25. This is great stuff from the Caterham 7 UK Championship. Over the line, the top 4 covered by less than a second. Heaton trying to close in on them, and Henry Heaton, not surprisingly, did the fastest lap of the race that time through, 2:15.395. So it is clearly drier than qualifying. They were lapping in the 2-minute 30s in qualifying earlier. Gordon Sawyer up the inside into the Maggots Beckett's complex, and he's taken James Murphy. That was a brave move on the brakes, up into 3rd place, and now here's Heaton. Watch that number 10 car. Flying up the order, 5 cars line astern. This is going to be very interesting in the Stowe. Which side are they going to go? Nuttall to the outside on Smith, Murphy to the outside of Sawyer, and Henry Heaton's trying to go through the middle in the number 10 car. Meanwhile, further back, Jake Swan-Dixon nearly on the grass. He tries to pass Graham McDonald. Round the outside of them goes Alex Jordan. It's impossible to know where to look in this race. Gordon Sawyer's been shuffled back, I think, to 5th there through Stowe Corner. We'll pick them up into the club complex. Well, there they are. It's now Nuttall, Smith, Murphy, Heaton and Sawyer. They've emerged in a completely different order there from Stowe Corner. Now here they come towards Abbey. Is William Smith. This is where he's stronger. Is he going to go back up the inside and take Stephen Nuttall for the lead? Yes, he is. Murphy tries to follow. There's nearly contact between the two of them. Here comes Henry Heaton as well in the number 10. Is he going to get the inside? Look at Sawyer. There could be 4 wide into Farm Corner there. Heaton up the inside takes 3rd. Murphy's going to go down to 4th. There's a battle developing for 7th as well behind Rob Watts. Oh, this is terrific stuff, and this is just the first few laps of the weekend. We're only on lap 4 of this race. There's still 11 and a half minutes of it near enough to go. Waiting for the leaders to come into sight over the rise on the Wellington Straight. It is still William Smith from the 46 of Stephen Nuttall. Henry Heaton now up into 3rd place. He was disappointed to miss out on Super Pole. The 5 leaders head towards Luffield Corner. Henry Heaton is attacking for 2nd place. Here come the leaders down the home straight. There's a black and white flag going out there. That's the driving standards flag. Possibly cracking down on track limits there, the officials, as the leaders over the line. The top 5 separated by just over 1.1 seconds. And here they go up towards the Maggots Beckett's complex. It's still William Smith from Nuttall. Heaton now challenging for the lead in the number 10. Just bounces over the curb on the entry of the complex there. Right, left, right again, then onto the little flick at Chapel, onto the Hanger Straights. Stephen Nuttall still 2nd. Gordon Sawyer's back up to 4th. James Murphy has been shuffled to the back of this group. Rob Watts trying to catch them up. Now here we go for the lead into Stowe Corner. Stephen Nuttall to the outside. He'll slipstream into the lead, but look at Henry Heaton up the outside in the number 10 car. Smith trying to fight back. It's Nuttall that's got the lead, this time through Stowe. Sawyer is 4th in the yellow and black car, then James Murphy. Rob Watts in 6th place, a little bit further back trying to catch them up. Then 3 wide further back, McDonald, Swan-Dixon, and I think it was Alex Jordan in the middle. 2 terrific battles here. Henry Heaton up the inside into the club complex. He takes 2nd place away from William Smith. Any one of those 5 on for the win at the moment. There's a fight further back as well between Eden, Fraser and Chris Aubrey, who had a bit of a slow first lap in the number 12. He's dropped back. Stephen Nuttall to the inside, holds the lead through Abbey Corner. It's impossible to keep up with this. 5 of them still going for the lead. This is Caterham racing at its very, very best here at Silverstone. William Smith to the inside of Henry Heaton. Retakes 2nd place into Farm Corner. There's nearly contact there between Eden and Chris Aubrey, who regains the place there in the number 12. Fraser behind. That's the 88 of Tom Allen.
Time for the Caterham 7.
He's shuffled back the 34. That's Ian Sparshott.
Welcome to actually quite a quiet assembly area.
Here come your leaders.
Right, hello everybody, welcome to actually quite a quiet
down the straight
area.
And big lock up there from William Smith around the outside. Can he get the car stopped in time? Side by side with Stephen Nuttall. And the 27 of William Smith is going to retake the lead into Luffield. That's a very daring bit of driving from William Smith. And look at Gordon Sawyer, he's come through the pack into 2nd place now. He was back in 4th a moment ago. Can't pause for a second following this battle. Here come the leaders. Down towards Cops Corner. 5 laps completed. They're covered by less than half a second. This time, James Murphy's lost it. Got a wheel onto the grass there, and he's spun on the outside of Cops Corner. So it's 4 for the lead now. James Murphy has spun. Now Gordon Sawyer is going to chase William Smith for the lead. Here they come up towards Maggots. He's going through on the left-hand side. Gordon Sawyer into the lead. He was 5th a lap ago. That's how quickly it can happen. Second is William Smith. Third, it is the 46 of Stephen Nuttall. Henry Heaton is down to 4th. They're changing positions on every corner here. Less than 8 minutes to go now. 5th is Rob Watts, having taken the place when James Murphy spun. They're going to be 4 wide here, I think, in the Stowe, or try to be. Henry Heaton's going to try and dive down the outside. Watch the 10 car. Smith's back into the lead in the 27. Sawyer 3rd. Nuttall is down to 4th. There's James Murphy, who's got going again, just coming through towards the Hangar Straight. Here come the leaders into the club complex. Smith, Heaton, Sawyer up the inside. He retakes 2nd on the inside. It's more like a NASCAR race than a Caterham race, this is. Watts in 5th. 6th is Graham McDonald, Alex Jordan 7th, Jake Swan-Dixon in the white car is 8th, Chris Aubrey 9th, Tom Eden 10th, then 11th behind him Neil Fraser, 12th I think is Ian Sparshots, and behind him I'm not sure, I think it might be Johnny Jarrett in the 21. Oh goodness me. There go the 4 leaders. Can Rob Watts make it 5 again? Alex Jordan up the inside takes Chris Aubrey and Jake Swan-Dixon. We've got 5 races to get through today. I'm going to be out of breath after just one. Okay, quick pause for breath. There's James Murphy. He's got going again towards the back after that spin. William Smith and Gordon Sawyer duking it out side by side into the left-hander at Brooklands corner. Now Sawyer trying to set himself up with the right-hander at Luffield, but Smith moves across, takes the line. Heaton on the tail of the 91 of Gordon Sawyer. And here comes Stephen Nuttall trying to fight back, wants to keep his championship lead ahead of Henry Heaton, James Murphy and Chris Hutchinson, who are both hit trouble in this race with spins. 27 of Will Smith is only down in 10th in the championship. He had problems at the first round at Donington Park, so he needs the points here. Fighting with Gordon Sawyer, who's gone wide over the tarmac runoff area at Cops Corner. Henry Heaton could make it 3 wide here on the run up into Maggots. Look at this. Stephen Nuttall dodging about behind them. Who's going to come out of this with the lead? Smith just has it. Up on the curb there is Henry Heaton. They're 3 wide through Beckett's. That's never going to work. Sawyer holds 2nd place. Heaton 3rd. Nuttall in behind them. This is magnificent racing. Down towards the Hangar Straight. They're still clear of Rob Watts in the 77 in 5th place. There's the group further back. Another 5 cars fighting it out for the minor placings as the leaders into Stowe Corner, 3 wide again. Nuttall round the outside in 46. He's going to try and take Henry Heaton. He tries to box Heaton in behind Gordon Sawyer. What's going to happen as they come down to club? Smith's actually broken away by a length or 2 there with the other 3 fighting behind him. He's trying to make the break. Sawyer now 2nd, Heaton 3rd, Nuttall 4th, then Watts 5th. The next group headed by Graham McDonald. Jake Swan-Dixon's back ahead of Alex Jordan as well. We saw that up at Stowe. They've got 1 car that has pulled into the pits. I think it's James Murphy, number 3. He may have had some damage as a result of that spin earlier on. We'll pick that up in a moment because we concentrate on our lead battle. They've completed 6 laps. We've got just over 4.5 minutes to go. 3 wide there through the village complex. That was for 6th position, Jordan McDonald and Swan-Dixon. Chris Aubrey is 9th, Tom Eden rounding out the top 10 in the 64. No, it's not James Murphy who's pitted. There he is, still going. Just dropped down the order as a result of spinning last time through, and it took a while to come through on the timing. Leaders through Brooklands. They've started to space themselves out just a little bit now. Gordon Sawyer trying to chase down the 27 of William Smith, the garage owner from Woodbridge in Suffolk. Rob Watts is being reeled in as well. Alex Jordan and Graham McDonald swapping places there through Luffield. Yes, the lead pack has, the lead quartet has spaced out a little bit. 1.5 seconds covering them now. It won't stay that spaced out for long, I'm sure. They'll close back up on William Smith, you mark my words. Up towards the complex once again at Maggots and Beckett's. Just over 3.5 minutes to go in this incredible race for the Caterham 7 UK Championship. Smith It's being reeled in again by Gordon Sawyer in the 91. Nuttall third, he's got back ahead of Henry Heaton. Down the Hanger Straights. How far ahead of Rob Watts are they? Just over 4 seconds, and in fact Watts has lost that place. Jake Swan-Dixon is now fifth, we can see in the background. Leaders heading into Stowe Corner, and round the outside goes Gordon Sawyer. He takes the lead once again, sweeps round the outside, barely touching the brakes I think on the run in there. That was a brave move by Gordon Sawyer. Smith still there. They're almost side by side on the run into club, so Smith could do his party trick of slipstreaming Sawyer into Abbey Corner. Robbie Watts has got fifth place back again in the 77. Yeah, here comes Smith. He comes out of the slipstream. He's done this on most laps. Up the inside, retakes the lead again. Stephen Nuttall in there in third. Very experienced Caterham racer, as are almost all of these drivers. Sawyer trying to hold the inside line into Village Corner. Third place is Stephen Nuttall. There's the battle further back for fifth between Swan-Dixon, Watts, and they're being reeled in by McDonald and Jordan. So we could have two four-way fights soon enough. Neil Fraser next, he's passing Chris Aubrey there. Behind them the 88, which is Tom Allen. We seem to have lost Tom Eden, number 64. He's disappeared somewhere, the yellow car. The leaders are heading up towards Brooklands, four of them still together. Who's going to lead on the way in? Sawyer to the inside, but William Smith's going to have the inside line for Luffield. But no, Sawyer gets the overlap and he's into the lead. Such precise driving here from these drivers, and I think they're heading into the last lap this time because there's less than 2 minutes on the clock. Yes, the last lap board is out. 1 lap to go. Sawyer, I think Henry Heaton has got through into second there at the line as well. Yes, Heaton was up there, but Sawyer back up. Look at Nuttall, he's going to take all three of them into Copse Corner. Straight up the inside. Where did he come from there? These four are going to be four wide into the complex here, I think. Look at this. Any one of these four can win it. It's Sawyer who shows from Smith now in second. I think Nuttall held all four of these places in one corner there. He's third. Heaton back to fourth. This is incredible, even by the standards of Caterham racing. Onto the Hanger Straight for what will be the last time. Sawyer from Smith. Smith, Nuttall move out to the slipstream. They're going to try and go four wide into Stowe Corner. Who's going to come out of this with the lead? Henry Heaton's going to try and go down the outside. I think Smith's going to hold it through Stowe. Nuttall second. Sawyer boxed in on the inside in the black and yellow. Through they come towards the club complex. Henry Heaton, incidentally, has still got the fastest lap of the race, but that doesn't matter at the moment. He attacks Sawyer, still holds that third place. It's William Smith in the number 27 car. Has yet to win this year, looking for his first success. Here they come. He's going to hold the inside line through Abbey. Stephen Nuttall trying to get round the outside. They go up towards the infield loop for the last time. The clock about to count down to 0. Gordon Sawyer goes a bit wide over the curb, cuts back in. They're all over Stephen Nuttall for second. There's a three-way battle for fifth as well. Graham McDonald coming through on the inside, the number 19, ahead of Swan-Dixon, Watts and Jordan now, and then a three-car battle in behind them. That's Chris Aubrey, Tom Allen and Neil Fraser. Leaders will be heading up towards Brooklands for the final time. Here they come, they're line astern. They'll start to fan out across the circuit. Gordon Sawyer going for the inside. They're almost touching each other there. Who's going to come through? William Smith has the lead. This is all for the win on the last spin. Henry Heaton's going for the inside. I think Smith has almost done enough. This is going to be so close at the finish line. Four of them almost on top of one another around the final bend. Somebody kicking up a bit of dust there on the outside. Here they come. Who's it going to be at the checkered flag? Has Smith done enough? He tries to move across. They're going to almost finish four wide. It's William Smith who gets it in the 27 by 0.021 of a second. Henry Heaton was second. Gordon Sawyer third. Stephen Nuttall in fourth. Well, how do you sum up a race like that? That's one of the best motor races I've ever seen. Jake Swan-Dixon was fifth. He topped the battle ahead of Graham McDonald and Rob Watts and Alex Jordan. Chris Aubrey ninth. We'll confirm the full result in a moment, but well, how do you sum that up? I've been commentating on motor racing for 15 years this year, and that's one of the very best races I've ever seen in my career. You almost want to applaud them, don't you? William Smith gets his first win of the season. Had problems at the opening round at Donington Park, only scored points in one race there. Improved at Knock Hill with a third place and a fourth, but that will be his first win of the season by 21 thousandths of a second. Right, we'll give you the results of that race then. The win going to William Smith ahead of Henry Heaton by 21 thousandths of a second. Gordon Sawyer was third ahead of Stephen Nuttall. Fifth went to Jake Swan-Dixon. Sixth was number 19 Graham McDonald. Rob Watts finished seventh in number 77. Eighth place went to Alex Jordan, number 80, the pink car. Ninth was number 12 Chris Aubrey. 10th went to number 25 of Neil Fraser. 11th number 88 of Tom Allen. 12th was Ian Sparshot, number 34. 13th went to James Murphy after his spin. 14th to 78 Chris Hutchinson after his spin. And Johnny Jarrett, number 21, finished in 15th place. He must have had a moment as well somewhere. We lost Tom Eden, unfortunately, number 64. He was a retirement. So well done to the Caterham 7 UK Championship. An amazing race to kick off our weekend. The car's heading back to the paddock, and I think I need to lie down.
Right, hello everybody, welcome down to pit lane. As you can see, the cars are actually just streaming through as they're not going to stop in the pit lane. We'll catch up with him certainly later for the second races down in Parc Fermé as well. But it was Will Smith, wasn't it? No, not that one. But my word, he won by the tiniest of margins. And
if you do need to do interviews, you need to do them in Parc Fermé.
Parc Fermé, there we go. I've just had it officially announced. Parc Fermé is the place to go. So we'll go there for the next race. But Will Smith, 0.021 of a second. It was like that over the line, wasn't it? These Caterhams are so exciting to watch, aren't they? Congratulations to Will Smith. We will find him and catch up with him as well. As he was driving by, he was fist pumping, everything like that. He was very excited indeed. Right, we've still got more Caterham action to come up though, and it's almost time for the very next race. So I'm going to hand over to your commentator Dave Goddard to take you through the action.
Right, I had a pause for breath there just to recompose myself after that incredible first race of the day. Next up will be the Caterham 7 310R Championship. These are for slightly less powerful Caterhams, based more on the road cars. You'll see, we'll give you some info on them in just a moment. But the grid reads like this. In pole position after qualifying this morning is number 9 of Harry Cook, and alongside him, number 88, Peter Walters. Second row 13 of James Wingfield, alongside number 80, Matt Shepherd. Row 3, 70, Lars Hoffman, and 92, Chris Moore. Row 4, number 79, Lewis Thompson, and 25 of Jay McCormack, who's travelled over from Spain to race here this weekend. Fifth row, an Anglo-Spanish driver, number 5, Ben Lopez Appleton, and number 2, Andy Lees. Row 6, 93 of Mike Evans, alongside 84, Andy Murgatroyd. Row 7, number 15, David Yates, and 22 of Gary Curtis. Row 8, number 38, Jeff Price, and 49 of Henry Williams. The ninth row, 21, Harry Landy, alongside 64 of Giuseppe Felle, the Italian. On the 10th row, 67, Doug Christie, a veteran of nearly 100 Caterham races. Chris Welch, number 68, alongside him. And the final row will be 73 Sam Bailey and number 16 Stephen Metcalf. 22 cars on the grid for what will be a 30-minute race for the Caterham 310Rs. And I think Ian's got some interviews for us down in the pits.
Everybody, welcome to actually quite a quiet assembly area at the minute. It's almost time for the Caterham 7 310R series to head out onto the track as soon as we get a few more. We've got here Jay McCormack's car, number 25. He's having a good chat with Ben Lopez Appleton, so let's go over and see if we can grab a word with the guys, shall we, and have a quick catch up. Jay, quick word, how's it going? You alright? Are you excited for this?
Yeah, absolutely. Didn't have a great qualifying, starting from 9th, which is pretty bad for me. But all to make up in the race, I'll be going for it.
That sounds exciting then. So what you're saying is you're the guy to watch. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah, hopefully I can repeat that statement
yes.
after. Yeah, watch me.
Jay, look, best of luck for the race. Enjoy. It's going to stay dry, I think, as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what we want, isn't it? I'm going to grab a quick word with Ben as well, if we can. This is Ben's car here. Let me just come round. Ben, quick word, if we may. How's it going?
Yes,
how was qualifying? Are you happy?
It was damp, it was wet, but yeah, pretty happy. I mean, it was a bit of a lottery out there today, so
yeah.
But generally speaking, yeah, we are where we are on the grid today, but we'll fight and we'll make it work, I reckon.
Now, obviously, you came down a bit early. In fact, you were the first car down here. Was that on purpose to watch the Caterhams currently out on tracks and maybe get a few tips coming down here, or was it just you were just ready?
I was just on it. I was told I had to get down here, but yeah, it's good to watch these guys. I mean, they're rocketing around, and it's I suppose it is a bit inspirational to see how they're taking these corners in the dry now. It's dry. Yeah, they're mega quick, and it's we get to race in that series someday. Yeah,
fantastic.
Sure.
Best of luck anyway, Ben. Won't you? Enjoy it. Have fun, won't you, mate?
And you, man.
Cheers. There we go. Yes, like I said, we'll just wait for a few more cars to come down, but it is almost time. So I'm going to hand over to Dave Goddard to run you through the running order. Get yourself ready for this, because this is going to be another absolutely thrilling Caterham race.
It certainly is, yes. The cars in position in the assembly area then, ready for our first race of the weekend for the Caterham 310R Championship. Just looking at the points charts for this one in a second. And the points are currently led by number 88, the car you can see in front of us there. Pete Walters had a couple of wins at the opening weekend of the year at Donington Park. Lars Alexander Hoffmann, the German-born racer, won the other, but he's only down in 10th in the championship because he didn't make the trip to Knock Hill for the second weekend of the season. And up there were two wins for Lewis Thompson ahead of Pete Walters. So Pete with a clear lead in the championship over number 13 James Wingfield and number 9 of Harry Cook in the standings at the moment. So in pole position we have the number 9 car of Harry Cook, sits third in the points, best result of second place at Knock Hill in the first race up there. Lewis Thompson won both races at Knock Hill, car number 79, but he didn't race at Donington the first round of the year, so he's well down in the points, looking to make up for lost points here today. The Caterham 7 310R. Originally 2014 onwards Caterham Academy cars, upgraded to Roadsport and then to 270R. These are powered by 152 brake horsepower Ford Sigma engines. Upgrades from 270R include Avon ZZS tyres, stiffer springs and dampers, rear anti-roll bar and wider track front suspension. 1600cc engines as opposed to the 2 litres in the cars we've just seen, the Ford Duratec 2 litre and the Caterham 7 UK cars. 5-speed gearbox, Avon ZZS tyres, limited slip differentials, minimum weight of 620 kilos including the driver. The championship sponsored by Bilstein Suspension. And the car's out on track now, ready for race number 1. Harry Cook, number 9, will take pole. He was third in the 270R championship last season and has upgraded his car for this season to 310R spec. 310 referring to the BHP per tonne of these cars. Greg Monks, the reigning champion, not out this season. There is the number 9 of Harry Cook in pole position. Alongside him, Pete Walters, who began his Caterham career with the academy, as so many of these drivers do. Second row, James Wingfield, number 13. That's the red car with the yellow and day-glow stripes, I think. Alongside him we've got number 80, Matt Shepherd, with his familiar yellow and black paint job. Went well in the Caterham relay race held here at Silverstone a few years ago. Championship leader Pete Walters second on the grid. Then where's Lars Alexander Hoffman? He usually goes well, the number 70. He's the reigning 270R champion. His dad Kurt Hoffman was also a Caterham racer in the Caterham Euro Cup several years ago. Hoffman is on the third row of the grid. There he is, the red and white car, with number 92 Chris Moore alongside him. Expect more slipstreaming here. One car weaving about a bit too much there, nearly spun it. That was Ben Lopez-Appleton in the blue car. Andy Lees in the Gulf liveried number 2 will start alongside him, the powder blue and orange. One of the most famous liveries in motorsports. Sun's burned through the clouds here at Silverstone. We're almost ready to get underway. Now, quick correction on Lars Hoffman. He was at Knockhill, but suffered damage in race 1 and couldn't get out for race 2, so he was there but failed to score any points. Apologies for the error there. Looking to recoup lost points here. So a slightly longer race this time. Chance for even more slipstreaming, as we saw from the Caterham 7 UK Championship cars. That was the number 13, James Wingfield, the distinctive red and day-glow yellow car. 25 is Jay McCormack, very experienced Caterham racer. Caterham royalty, as some call him. Very quick driver indeed, based over in Spain these days. Of Andrew Murgatroyd, the blue car with the orange stripe there. At the back of the grid, Sam Bailey and Steve Metcalf in the black and gold. Again, the JPS Lotus colours. Cars coming into line then for race 2 of the weekend, the Caterham 7 310R Championship in association with Bilstein Suspension. Number 9 of Harry Cook in pole position, third in the points coming into this round. Will start alongside the number 88 of Pete Walters, both in black cars. Pete Walters, the championship leader. 13, James Wingfield in the red and yellow car, second in the points, second row of the grid. And number 80 of Matt Shepherd will complete the second row. Not yet on the points chart this season, so eager to get some points on the board here. Row 3, it's Lars Alexander Hoffman, the reigning 270R champion. Upgraded his car for this year. Chris Moore, number 92, alongside him. Then Lewis Thompson, star of Knockhill, his first appearance of the season. Jay McCormack alongside in the 25. Then Ben Lopez-Appleton and Andy Lees complete the top 10 on what we should have a 22-car grid out there for 30 minutes of Caterham racing from the 310Rs. These cars may not quite be as quick as the Caterham 7 UK Championship, but they're certainly as spectacular. Green flag waves at the back of the field, waiting for the red lights to come on, and when they go out, we will be underway over 30 minutes. Away they go, down towards the first corner. Decent start by Pete Walters. Looks like he's going to take the lead. Matt Shepherd tries to move towards the inside, but it's Walters who's got the lead. Not the best of starts from Harry Cook in the number 9 from pole position. Looks like they're all going to get round the first corner at Copse okay. 67 Doug Christie in the middle there. But it is the 88 of Pete Walters who leads, and Harry Cook, the number 9, is down to third because James Wingfield has come through into second place. Lars Alexander Hoffmann, the German, in fourth place in the Motul liveried number 70 car. Are they all going to get through the Beckett's complex? Okay, couple of cars running out a little bit wide. The number 15 is one of them, David Yates. Again, Caterham racer of several years' experience now. They start to sort themselves out down the Hanger Straight. This is one of our principal overtaking places. James Wingfield to the outside. Harry Cook going for the inside. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead, and Cook straight up the inside, third to first in one move. Excellent stuff. The cars sideways. There's somebody going off further back. The number 38 has spun. We've got a tangle further back. 38 is Jeff Price, and the 22 and 67. 67 Doug Christie, 22 of Gary Curtis have tangled up. That's caused a bit of damage, I think, to Doug Christie's car. Hopefully he can get going again. First 2 have broken away. Yes, the 67 of Christie has got going again. Here come the leaders down the Hamilton Straight. Walters and Cook together. Pete Walters is going to retake the lead on the inside. Hoffman up to third, and down to fifth, I think, has gone the 13 of James Wingfield behind Matt Shepherd in the number 80. We'll check that as they come through the infield loop. Somebody running wide over the grass there. That's the green machine of... I'll identify who that was in a moment. Further back in the field, there's the 38 going again after his spin. That's Jeff Price. The leaders will be heading up the Wellington Straight then towards the left at Brooklands. As they start to sort themselves out, it's Pete Walters with the lead ahead of Harry Cook, side by side for third place. Hoffman could lose out there. There's Matt Shepherd. He's dropped back down the order on this first lap. A long way to go yet for him to fight back. The number 2 of Andy Lee's up into 6th, the pale blue car there. Jay McCormack ahead of Ben Lopez Appleton, Matt Shepherd, David Yates. The rest of them go charging through. Over the line they come to complete the first lap then. See what the gap is as they cross the line. 0.049 of a second for Walters ahead of Cook. The car that ran wide, I think, was the 93 of Mike Evans, the green car. There he is, going again ahead of 84 of Andy Murgatroyd. Here come the leaders into the Beckett's complex. It's the 79 car that has gone to the front there of Lewis Thompson. Now he's come through quickly up the field and has taken the lead. The 3 black cars together there at the front of the field. So Lewis Thompson with a very rapid first lap. He gained 4 places around the first lap and took the lead through Copse. Can he hold it in? No, Pete Walters has already slipstreamed past him on the run down into Stowe Corner. So difficult to keep up with all the place changes in Caterham racing. David Yates up the inside there attacking Matt Shepherd. They charge their way into Stowe Corner. Have they all made it round this time? Yes, they have. Leaders up into the club complex. Here they come, side by side, the 3 black cars together. Who's going to come out of this with the lead? It looks like it's Thompson. Yes, the black and gold machine back in front ahead of Walters and Cook. Well, Lewis Thompson absolutely flying in car number 79. Here comes the number 13 at the inside, James Wingfield, trying to take Lars Hoffmann for 4th place. There is the gold number 79, almost in that gold flip paint scheme that TVR used to use, that car, I think. Depends which way the sun catches it, depends which way you look at it as to what colour it is. But Andy Lee's going up into 5th place there in the number 2. He's running well. So they make their way through the infield loop, then onto the Wellington Straights. There's Doug Christie, number 67. He's got going again after spinning earlier on. He tangled with number 22 of Gary Curtis down at Stowe. Here come the leaders. Thompson under fire from the 88 of Pete Walters. Harry Cook in 3rd, and it's 3 wide for 4th place behind. There's McCormack. 92 behind him is Chris Moore. And then David Yates. Pete Walters has got the lead back again in car number 88. Swing their way through Luffield. By the time I've read the race order out, it'll have all changed again, so I'm not reading out the top 10 or anything like that as they cross the line. Here they come, then it is Thompson, 7,000ths of a second in it as they cross the line, absolutely side by side. Who's going to emerge here with the lead? It's Thompson back into the lead on the outside line. Lees is now up to 4th place in the number 2, and he crossed the line in 6th. So he slipstreamed his way through. There's Matt Shepherd running a bit further down the order in car number 80. It's Lewis Thompson leads into the Maggots and Beckett's complex for the third time. Long way to go yet though. Pete Walters in second, Harry Cook in third. They're starting to break away very slightly from the rest of the field. James Wingfield fifth behind the number 2 of Andy Lees, the pale blue and orange car. Tells us his first ever road car was a Caterham, so he's been with them ever since he could drive. Walters, Cook and Thompson side by side, 3 wide into Stowe corner. It's Walters who emerges with the lead, the championship leader. Wingfield has come through into 4th ahead of Lees there as well in the red and yellow machine. Through the club complex, easy to run wide into that gravel trap there, but nobody has so far. Here comes Jay McCormack muscling his way through the 5th, and Lars Hoffman goes wide over the tarmac runoff area. They're just about holding it together, keeping it on the island here. And the first 3 you can see have definitely broken away. Pete Walters in car 88 trying to break away from his 2 pursuers. It's Lewis Thompson and Harry Cook. Through to the infield loop. Here comes Jay McCormack onto the tail of James Wingfield, then Lees, David Yates side by side with Hoffman. Here's some of the back markers. They're all running in a big group towards the front of the field. Only 1 or 2 cars that have hit problems early on. The number 16 of Steve Metcalf at the back there along with Christie, and the 22 of Gary Curtis. As the leaders head up towards Brooklands corner once again. Here they come. To the inside goes Harry Cook, I think that is. Yes, he's going to retake the lead on the inside. McCormack side by side with Wingfield. Lees side by side with Hoffman. Then Yates, Lopez Appleton, 92 of Chris Moore, and the 93, which is Mike Evans. It's getting closer and closer at the front of the field between the top 3, and then for 4th place it's everybody else. Andy Murgatroyd there, number 84, having a go on the inside as Lopez Appleton ran wide in the number 5. They continue to sort themselves out down these straights. Pete Walters back into the lead in car 88, swapping places for fun at the front of the field. McCormack's now starting to go after them. There's Wingfield number 13, Lees number 2, Hoffman number 70. Runs a little bit wide there, so does Lees. Yates is next, then Mike Evans. They've got ahead of Chris Moore. Leaders into the Maggots Beckett's complex. Still 22 minutes of this race to go. This race is but young as yet. Harry Cook has retaken the lead from Pete Walters and Lewis Thompson. There's a lead change on every corner so far in this race, pretty much. They're going to try and go 3 wide into Stowe. And Jay McCormack behind is saying, well, if you're going to scrap with each other, you're not going to notice me creeping up on you. Lewis Thompson to the inside. He takes the lead into Stowe. Ahead of Walters and Cook now. Squeal of these Avon tyres as they corner on the limit of adhesion through there. There goes Gary Curtis. He's catching back up after his first lap tangle. Who's leading as they come through club this time? Is it Gary Cook or Lewis Thompson? It's Lewis Thompson in the number 79, the gold and purple almost flip liveried car. There he is on the outside, but Pete Walters is going for the inside at Abbey, and he retakes the lead once again. They say the place you don't want to be in a Caterham race is leading going into the last lap. I think here you don't want to be leading going into the penultimate corner of the race, because you will be slipstreamed. Gary Evans there, staying ahead of the 84 of Murgatroyd. There's number 38, another car spun early on, that's Jeff Price. Making his way back up the order. There's a battle towards the back of the field. Doug Christie is one of those cars. The other number 16 of Stephen Metcalf. Here are your leaders. 79. Lewis Thompson has it as they go into Brooklands. Here's the battle further back between James Wingfield and Andy Lees. That's for 5th position. And look ahead, because Jay McCormack has caught our 3 leaders. Watch that blue and red car of Jay McCormack, one of the quickest Caterham racers in the UK. And he's catching our top 3 now. I bet they didn't even notice him, as we said earlier, sneaking up on them. Here they come. It's going to be 4 for the lead now. Over the line, and McCormack, yep, he's done the fastest lap of the race. 2 minutes 27.528. There he is. Charging along superbly here after the 3 leaders. Who's got the lead as they come towards? Looks like it's Lewis Thompson ahead of 88 Pete Walters, number 9 of Harry Cook. He's now 4 cars line astern, and we've still got 2/3 of this race to go for the Caterham 7 310R Championship. 5th is number 13 of Wingfield. He's got back ahead of Andy Lees. Behind them we should have David Yates, the blue and white car. Then it's Lars Hoffman, Chris Moore and Andy Murgatroyd. I think that is rounding out the top 10. No, it's Lopez Appleton, but never mind that because it's 3 wide for the lead once again. 3 wide for 5th place further back as well. We don't know where to look as they go into Stowe Corner. Through the middle they go. Another 3 wide battle further back. Yeah, Mike Evans round the outside there on the 21. That's Harry Landy. So much going on out there. Here come the leaders, side by side again through the club complex. Lewis Thompson and Harry Cook. Walters down to 3rd. Can McCormack get through all of them? Hoffman 3 wide further back there with Wingfield and somebody else, which might have been Chris Moore. What order are they going to be in through Abbey this time? Pete Walters, yep, back up the inside. He's been watching William Smith from the previous race, hasn't he? He goes up the inside at Abbey and slipstreams his way through every single time. This is quite superb stuff. Still battling away in the midfield as well as they come through the infield loop there. How long have we got to go? 18 minutes of this race still to run. Here come the leaders down the Wellington Straight under the bridge. It's Lewis Thompson to the inside of Pete Walters, retakes the lead. Harry Cook in 3rd place. Now what can Jay McCormack do here? He did the fastest lap of the race last time through. The top 4 were covered by 0.36 of a second. And this is allowing the other cars to tow up as well. There's Andy Lees, there's David Yates is up into 6th position, then Wingfield. Moore is next in the 92. And then we've got Lars Hoffman in the Motul liveried car. Over the line, it's Thompson who's got the lead. 5 laps completed. Pete Walters retakes the lead down the straight as I expected there. Now Jay McCormack looking to make his move. Could they go 4 wide here on the run into the Maggots and Beckett's complex? Harry Cook has got the lead and McCormack, that move to the inside did work. He's up into 2nd place. Now Jay McCormack making his move for the front of the field. 3rd place now is Walters. Lewis Thompson has gone down to 4th. He led at the line and now he's under fire from Andy Lees. He wants a piece of this as well. It's going to be 6 for the lead because David Yates has come through in the 15. And here they come. McCormack to the outside. Moving to the inside is Lewis Thompson. So is Pete Walters. Thompson will move back into the lead, followed by Walters. Cook goes down to 3rd. McCormack's caught on the outside. He's going to go down to 4th place. Lees gets the tighter line as well, but he's going to be on the outside for the left-hander as they come out of the Vale into Club. And then a solid line of cars behind them. It looks like the M1 on a bad day. Swing their way through the Club complex up towards what's on the Formula 1 layouts with the wing pits being used would be the end of the lap. We're using the old pits today here at Silverstone. Here they come, 6 of them for the lead. Pete Walters again. He's got it down to a fine art now, hasn't he? Up the inside into Abbey, retakes the lead again from 79 of Lewis Thompson. Who's in 3rd place? Well, by the time I've told you, it'll have changed. Jay McCormack up the inside there into Village Corner. A little bit of a lock up there. Oh, somebody going off on the outside. Who was that? Couldn't tell who that was. Somebody spinning under braking. That was Ben Lopez Appleton, number 5. He's recovered quickly. He's lost a few places though. Waiting for the leaders to come up the Wellington Straight towards Brooklands. Then here they come. Lewis Thompson to the inside. This is where he's stronger. Takes Pete Walters for the lead. Side by side between Cook and McCormack for 3rd. McCormack up to 3rd, ahead of Harry Cook. 5th now is Andy Lees in the number 2. David Yates was briefly ahead of him. They're starting to drop the rest of the field now. There's Wingfield 7th, Murgatroyd is 8th, Lars Alexander Hoffman 9th, Chris Moore is 10th and Harry Landy 11th. 15 minutes to go, so we've reached half distance in this Caterham 7 310R Championship. Pete Walters from Lewis Thompson as they come into Copse there. Again, Walters seems to be able to get the slipstream better. Copse and at Abbey at least, but at the end of the lap it's Lewis Thompson. He's done it again there, coming into Maggots. Jay McCormack's biding his time for third. Here comes Andy Lees trying to attack Harry Cook for fourth place. He's got David Yates behind him. Now is James Wingfield going to close up again here in the red and yellow number 13? Yates a bit wide there coming out of Beckett's. He's lost a bit of momentum. Try and fight back down the straights. Wait for them to fan out. Here they go. Which side are you going to go to attack? Pete Walters round the outside. Lewis Thompson back into his slipstream. He's lost the place there to Walters. He's going to take it back again on the run into Stowe Corner. A double slipstream there. You don't see that too often, even in Caterham racing. McCormack in third. Waiting for them to come into sight at Club there. Wingfield still 7th ahead of Murgatroyd, Moore and Hoffman now down to 10th. Andy Murgatroyd, number 84, going very well indeed through the pack. There go the leaders. James Wingfield rather on his own here. There's the number 13 car that nobody to slipstream with at the moment. You need partners in the racing like this. This time Pete Walters doesn't go to the inside. Lewis Thompson able to hold him off. There's Murgatroyd ahead of Moore, Hoffman, Landy, Evans. Who's that in behind them? I think that's the number 73 possibly of Sam Bailey. He's come through well from towards the back of the grid. Matt Shepherd behind him, the yellow number 80 car. And then we've got Ben Lopez Appleton, who had that quick spin earlier on, trying to get back onto the tail of that midfield draft, if you like. There's the battlers at the back. 22 and the 67 still fighting it out as Pete Walters up the inside. Oh, is he going to overshoot it at Brooklands? He locked up the brakes a little there. No, he's made it round the left-hander, got the car stopped in time. Harry Cook holding off Andy Lees for fourth. Jay McCormack still there in third. Then we've got David Yates. They're going well clear of their opposition now between these half dozen for the lead. There's the 73 of Sam Bailey coming through nicely, having not gone too well in qualifying. 12.5 minutes to go. Lewis Thompson back into the lead now. It was Walters who led at the line, but Lewis Thompson retaking him on the run to Copse. David Yates hanging on to the coattails of the 5 ahead of him. Still a long way to go yet. Through the Maggots Beckett's complex, Pete Walters back into the lead. Harry Cook seems to be stuck in that 4th place. He can't get back ahead of Jay McCormack. See what he can do on the run to Stowe. Well, I hope someone's tallying the number of lead changes between Pete Walters and Lewis Thompson here, because I've lost count. Now here, look at Jay McCormack in the 25 up the outside as they head into Stowe Corner. Somebody's lost a wing. There's been a bit of contact in there. That's the first one we've had go missing in this race. Looking at the battle further back, Wingfield being reeled in by Murgatroyd and Moore. It's 2 huge battles. You don't know which one to look at. Now who's come out of this with the lead this time? It is still Thompson ahead of McCormack now second. So that move down the outside didn't quite. Here come the flying 6 at the front. David Yates trying to move towards the inside at the back to take Andy Lees. It's Thompson with the lead in the 79. Chased by Jay McCormack now. Pete Walters down into 3rd place ahead of Harry Cook. Then it's Lees and Yates. Then the battle for 7th place. Who's this moving up on the outside of James Wingfield? That's Chris Moore, I think, in the 92. Yes, he gets round the outside. Lars Hoffman going for the inside as well. There's Ben Lopez Appleton driving like a demon to try and catch up with the pack ahead of him. Who's going to be leading towards Brooklands this time through with 10.5 minutes of this race to go. Here they come. It's Thompson ahead of McCormack, Walters. Then we've got Cook. David Yates up the inside into 5th place ahead of Andy Lees. 2 blue cars battling it out. Now can McCormack take the lead for the first time in this race? It'll be Lewis Thompson in number 79 who leads over the line. There's Chris Moore, number 92, trying to get away at the front of the battle for 7th now. Second group in this race. There's a small hole developed in this battle as well. The first 4 have pulled away slightly as here comes Pete Walters up the inside. He takes 2nd ahead of Jay McCormack. Then Harry Cook in 4th on in the number 9. pole sitter for this race. They're going to be 3 wide for second on the run into Maggots. Cook is going to try and go around the outside. He's done so. Back up into second place. Now, he'd been stuck in fourth for a couple of laps there. Now he's through to second. Can attack to try and retake the lead, as Lewis Thompson, if anything, has been able to break away there just a little. There's that bit of debris. We haven't identified who that belongs to yet, but you don't want to run over that. You might get a puncture in one of your Avon tyres. Thompson, side by side between Walters, the former Academy champion, and Cook for second place. McCormack tucked in behind them. More like the closing stages of the Grand National Horse Race, this is. And there's still 9 minutes of it to go. David Yates 5th. Andy Lees in 6th place. Through they come. Then the group for 7th. Who's gone to the front of that now? We'll try and keep an eye on that. I think that's Harry Landy, number 21, that's got through. Yes, ahead of Chris Moore. Then it's Andy Murgatroyd. They file their way, single file this time, down towards Abbey. Lewis Thompson looking for his 3rd win of the season. Scored a double at Knock Hill. Yes, the first 4 definitely breaking away very slightly. Here comes the fight for 7th. That's really intensifying now. Landy, Moore, Murgatroyd, Hoffman, and Wingfield in the number 13 has dropped down from his second row start. Behind him we've got Sam Bailey and Mike Evans, then Matt Shepherd, Ben Lopez Appleton, and the rest of the pack. 38 car, a little bit of a lock up there. He's recovered nicely after that spin. He's got ahead of the 64 of Giuseppe Felle. As the leaders head into Brooklyn, still Thompson, Walters, Cook and McCormack the order. Into the double right-hander at Luffield. Then up towards Woodcut and the end of the 9th lap of this 30 minutes. Bill Stein Caterham 7 310R Championship race. Everybody is still running out of the 22 who started, which is good to see. Here they come towards Copse. Is Pete Walters going to jink out of the slipstream, go for the inside? No, he's not quite close enough. Lewis Thompson keeps the lead. 0.6 of a second just over, covers the top 4. And now here comes McCormack. This is where he's stronger on the run into Maggots. Pete Walters attacking for the lead. They're square 4 again at the front of the field. Walters leads. McCormack up into 3rd. He's got ahead of Harry Cook once again. Now watch McCormack into Stowe. I reckon this could be his chance to make a daring move. There's won more Caterham races than I can remember over the years, Jay McCormack. Here they come onto the hanger straights. Yates and Lee still not far away either. McCormack might be thwarted here because Thompson and Walters are busy swapping place ahead. Here comes Harry Cook, here comes McCormack. I thought he might try this. Up the inside, they're going to be 4 wide on the run into Stowe Corner. The next group headed up by Moore and Landy. Here comes Wingfield down the inside and Hoffman as well. They're 4 wide as well, so you just don't know where to look. Here come the leaders. Who's come out with the lead? Is it McCormack? It is. I said he might be worth watching into Stowe that time through. He was nicely placed coming through Beckett's, and he's got the lead for the first time. Well done, Jay McCormack. And the 4-way fight continues at the front. Now this race coming alive in its closing stages. A couple more laps to go after this one. Thompson goes to the inside. He's going to try and retake the lead into Abbey. He does so. Walters trying to follow, so Jay McCormack's lead didn't last long, and he'll have it all to do again. They're going to be 3 wide for second, almost coming through into the village complex. McCormack still second. I think it's Walters there 3rd, Cook down to 4th, and Yates and Lees are closing up again as well. Oh, this is brilliant. Proving there's anything the Caterham 7 UK Championship can do, the 310Rs can do just as well. Somebody's lost his nose cone there, hanging off. That's Sam Bailey, number 73, so there's been some contact in the midfield battle. There's a fight further back between, I think that's Giuseppe Felle and his pursuers. Meantime, we're with the leaders, and it's Pete Walters who leads. McCormack back up into 2nd place. Look at David Yates up the inside, the blue 15 car up into 4th. He's taken Harry Cook. The pole sitter goes down to 5th. It's Walters who will lead across the line this time. Lee's trying to hang on to their coattails in 6th now. And nearly 6 seconds back is this battle for 7th place. There's a penalty showing next to somebody. That's Lars Hoffman. 5-second penalty for track limits. Jay McCormack up the inside, retakes the lead for the 2nd time, going into Copse Corner. See, I nearly missed that. I took my eyes off the action for 1 second there to look at the timing screen and the penalty. And I nearly missed yet another lead change. There could be 5 wide here. What's going to happen into Stowe this time? Pete Walters back into the lead into the complex at Beckett's. McCormack second. David Yates up into 3rd place. He's running well. He could yet win this. Lewis Thompson has gone down to 4th. Cook is 5th. Then Andy Lees. Could they go 6 wide? Is there room as they come down towards Stowe? It could happen. They're weaving about all over the place, trying to pick the best line to slipstream through. Here they come into Stowe corner. McCormack on the outside. Walters keeps the inside. I think Pete Walters is just about going to hold his lead. McCormack very late on the brakes. He's going to get round the outside. He has done it. McCormack again into Stowe corner. Takes the lead in the 25 car. Here they come into the club complex. David Yates has gone down to 4th because Thompson has come back through. Then 5th is Harry Cook. 6th Andy Lees. The next group, who's at the head of that now? It's Andy Murgatroyd, number 84, up to 7th. Chris Moore is 8th. No time to look back at them though, because here comes this frantic lead battle. Less than 4 minutes to go now. And a lap takes nearly 2.5 minutes, so there's not long to go. Walters back at the inside, retakes the lead. Lewis Thompson through into 2nd place. McCormack again goes down to 3rd. These drivers are loving every second of this. David Yates on the brakes for Village Corner. Nearly locks up, but he gets through into 3rd ahead of McCormack. Murgatroyd at the head of the next group. There's Moore, Landy, Hoffman, and the rest of them. Rosecone hanging off the 73 car of Sam Bailey, but it's not slowing him down. Lars Hoffman will wait and see how that penalty affects him. 5 seconds is an eternity in Caterham racing. Walters has got the lead ahead of Thompson as they head down into Brooklands. Harry Cook back at the inside of Yates. McCormack's gone back to 5th place in the 25 car. Must have had a bad exit from the loop section there. He now goes back to the inside through Luffield as the second group heads through. There go the leaders up to a completion of another lap. I think we'll get 2 more laps out of this, because the clock's showing 2 minutes 40 as they cross the line there. 11 laps completed. The top 4, well, the top 6 covered by 1.5 seconds as Lewis Thompson retakes the lead for the first time in a couple of laps. On the inside at Copse Corner, it's Harry Cook back up into 3rd place. Walters and Thompson still together. McCormack's been shuffled back to the rear of this group. I think has Andy Lees come through there? Yes, he has, briefly. Walters now retakes it into the complex. Is there a record for the number of lead changes in a UK motorsport event? Because if someone's counting, I think this might be close to breaking it. Here they come down the straight. What's going to happen into Stowe Corner this time then? They're going to go 4 wide. That's what. Look at this. Harry Cook up the inside. Where did he come from? Back round the outside is Lewis Thompson. David Yates going for the lead here in the 15. He's going to try and slipstream Cook. McCormack next ahead of Lees. Waiting for the lead group to come into Club Corner. They're still side by side. Lewis Thompson very late on the brakes. He leads. It's David Yates up into 2nd place with the white wheels. And at 3rd place, I thought we'd lost a car there. It was just hidden because they were so close together, Walters and Cook. The next group headed by Hoffman. Now Harry Landy ran wide there, the 21 at Club Corner, and he's dropped back a bit. It's Lewis Thompson who leads. Here comes Pete Walters on the inside. Walters retakes 2nd from David Yates in the 15. Here they come through the infield complex. This is unbelievable racing. Jay McCormack sideways there as he comes into Village ahead of Andy Leeds. He was 6th across the line last time through. He could be leading by the time they get to the end of the Wellington Straight, the way they've been slipstreaming each other. Ben Lopez Appleton having a scrap there with Sam Bailey. It's further back in the order for about 14th place. Oh my goodness. So as I draw breath, it's Lewis Thompson who leads into Brooklands Corner. 30 seconds on the clock, so I think they'll get another lap out of this. Pete Walters 2nd, David Yates in 3rd place. Then 4th is Harry Cook. Andy Lees on the curb there on the inside trying to take Jay McCormack. Yeah, he's through into 5th position. 6 of them go over the line. Looks like it will be last lap this time. Oh, is that Thompson slowing, or did he just moved across towards the pit wall there? No, he's okay. Thought he'd slowed up for a second there. We're into the final lap now. The clock has counted down to 0. And there's still one more lap of this to go. I think Lewis Thompson was hoping that he'd see the checkered flag that time through, but no, there was a few seconds left. He's got another lap to resist at the front. Look at David Yates up the inside there, attacking Walters and Cook. Yates is 4th, then McCormack 5th, Lees 6th. Any one of these 6 can still win this. Now they're going to really charge hard to try and slipstream each other. They don't want to be leading, I would say, into Brooklands for the last time, because they will get slipstreamed out. There's not much of a run out of Woodcote onto the finish line here at Silverstone. Thompson and Walters side by side. Cook goes to the outside. 3 wide into Stowe corner. Pete Walters around the outside is later on the brakes. He could take the lead back again here. In this truly magnificent Caterham 7 310R race into Club Corner. Who's going to come in here with the lead? They're still all over each other. It's still Thompson. No, it isn't. Up the inside comes, I think that's Walters. Yes, Pete Walters has got the lead back again. Then Thompson, Yates, McCormack's in there as well. Murgatroyd now at the head of the second group, ahead of Hoffman, who's trying to make up ground to overcome that 5-second penalty. Lewis Thompson to the inside, retakes Pete Walters. David Yates is lurking in the 15 in 3rd place. Then it's Lees up to 4th. McCormack and Harry Cook has been shuffled to the back of this group. He's on the outside there. Look at Lees up the inside. He's going to try and make it 3 wide here. Oh, this is going to be tight as they head into the left-hander at the loop there. We'll wait to pick them up as they come through this time. Murgatroyd's lost a rear wing there, I noticed, so he's the one with the missing wing. But who's going to be leading up to Brooklands for what will be the final time? The clock is at 0. It's going to be checkered flag this time. Here they come. It's Lewis Thompson with the lead. Yates in 2nd. Pete Walters will try and sweep round the outside. Here they come. 5. Oh, there's contact. Jay McCormack hits the back of Andy Lees. It's going to be Lewis Thompson. I think he's got enough of a lead here. They come round the final turn. It's going to be Lewis Thompson for win number 3 of the season in car number 79. Walters is going to finish 2nd. Here they come up towards the finish line. What an incredible race. And it's going to be number 79, Lewis Thompson, who wins it. Pete Walters comes over in 2nd. David Yates is 3rd. Andy Lees 4th. Harry Cook 5th. Jay McCormack 6th. As quickly as that, 2 seconds covered those 6 cars at the finish line. And Jay McCormack got the fastest lap. Wow. There are not the words to describe the Caterham racing here at Silverstone today. Well, we said you don't want to be leading into the last corner in a Caterham race, and somehow Lewis Thompson managed to hang on. 0.995 of a second, his winning margin. We'll give you the rest of the result in a moment. There are a couple of cars, in fact, with 5-second penalties in that one for exceeding track limits. Lars Hoffman was one, and Ben Lopez Appleton was the other. They dropped to 14th and 15th places as a result of those penalties being applied. We'll confirm the full result in a moment, and hopefully we'll hear from the first 3 in each division over the course of the remainder of our races today with Ian down in Parc Ferme. But with 3 more races to come, 2 more from the Caterhams and then the Brick Car 2-hour race. My nerves are not going to take the rest of this. This is unbelievable. Right, we'll check out the results of that one then. Lewis Thompson, the winner, ahead of Pete Walters by 0.995 of a second. 3rd going to David Yates in number 15. 4th went to Andy Lees, ahead of pole sitter Harry Cook. Then Jay McCormack in 6th. Bit of contact into the final corner between McCormack and Lees. Thankfully, the only contact of the race between those. 6th in that brilliant race. Andy Murgatroyd, number 84, headed up the second group in 7th, ahead of the number 21 of Harry Landy. 9th was James Wingfield. Started strongly but fell back, and 10th went to number 93 Mike Evans. 11th was Matt Shepherd, Chris Moore dropping down to 12th. Then Sam Bailey, despite losing his nose cone, finished 13th. Hoffman and Lopez Appleton both got 5-second penalties for exceeding track limits. They finished 14th and 15th. Behind them in 16th was the number 38, Jeff Price, recovering from an early spin. Giuseppe Felle was 17th. 18th went to the number 68 of Chris Welch. 19th was Doug Christie. Then 20th place we had the number 49 of Henry Williams. 21st was number 16, Steve Metcalf. And a lap down at the back of the field was number 22 of Gary Curtis. All 22 cars completing the distance in that one. Minimal contact, only a little bit into the final corner as we saw there. But a quite stunning race from the Bilstein Caterham 7 310R Championship. And there's more to come. Another 2 Caterham races coming up in a few moments' time. Next up we have the Mission Motorsports Caterham Roadsport Championship. Okay, we are now going to hand down to Parc Ferme, and our interviewer Ian Waterhouse will be talking to the drivers from that incredible race.
Right, hello everybody, welcome down to Parc Ferme, and here is your winner over here. One thing I love about the Caterhams, don't you? They're just so competitive. You just couldn't put anything between it. Here he is. It's Lewis Thompson, a man who's, you can't see because he's got a helmet on, but probably got a big smile underneath there. Haven't you, Lewis?
Yeah, it's massive, yeah. Just what a hard race. I just knew that I could control it from the front, and yeah, it's fantastic. So, but I'd just like to say thank you to everyone, in particular my mum and dad. It's just, yeah, it's been emotional recently, so yeah, it's just brilliant to bring home the win. And
Lewis, well done, mate. Let it out, mate. Let it out. That's it. You've got a big shiny trophy behind you as well.
I know, it was for bad.
Get that. Well done. Let's grab a quick chat with Pete Walters as well. Pete, congratulations as well. Fantastic racing. These Caterhams, I don't know how you guys have time to breathe. It's so action-packed.
I haven't had a breath for 30 minutes. Yeah, epic as always. Congratulations to Lewis. Good to see David back in 310. It's just another great race, and as you see, it's always close. It's always wheel to wheel, especially around here with the tyres.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Fantastic. Well done anyway, congratulations. Here is David as well. Let's go grab a quick word with Mr. Yates. He's obviously very, very happy, isn't he, David? David, look at it, you're all smiles, you're all happy, aren't you? And
I am very happy, yes.
It's a magnificent race of these Caterhams, isn't it?
It's fantastic. I mean, we started P13, a bit disappointed, but yeah, we just sort of made steady progress, and that's a brilliant racing out there.
Steady progress, P13 to third, that's steady, is it?
Yeah,
that's lightning to me. How good does it feel to be on a podium?
Oh, it's brilliant, yeah. I started with 420s this year.
Yeah.
So I swapped over to 310s, this is the first race for the 310s, so I'm glad I did it now.
We are as well. Congratulations, David, well done. That's your top 3. Congratulations to everybody. We've got so much more action to bring you, haven't we? In fact, we've got another Caterham race about to come up. So I'm going to hand back to your commentator, Dave Goddard, to take you through the action.
Okay, having got my breath back just about after that race, we've got the Caterham Roadsport Championship in association with the Forces Motorsport charity Mission Motorsports. The grid looks like this after qualifying this morning. Number 11, Taylor O'Flanagan, the reigning Academy champion, takes pole position alongside number 22, Hugo Bush. Second row, 59, the points leader coming into this event, Tom Cockerill, starts alongside Dominic Mansberger, number 25, the German. Row 3, 97 Gwyn Jones, I should say, alongside number 17, Alex Vincent. And row 4, number 27, Kevin Turner, and 96, Peter Mott. The fifth row, 93, Adam West, alongside number 12, Ron Mounsey. Sixth row, 49, Steve Lancaster, and 38, Ryan Lovitz. Row 7, number 5, Chris Broom, and 99, Toby Boys. The eighth row, number 2, Andy Lund, and 4 of Nick Timpson. Row 9, 98, James Hall, alongside Adrian Mariadas in car number 81. And then the second half of the grid, row 10, number 6, Marcus Eels, alongside Michael Koo in 88. Row 11, 70, Mike Hilton, and 29, Andy Bergbaum. Row 12, number 20, Chris Griffith, and 23, Mark Firth. Final row, number 9, James Griffiths, and 26, Peter Lawson. Well, the Caterham Roadsport Championship, this is the second step on the ladder, really, for Caterham racers moving up from the Academy Championship. Light modifications, more track-orientated tyres on these cars and the road tyres on the Academy cars. and it enables drivers to get another year out of their academy race cars. The academy for novices will see out tomorrow for a single race. We will take a look at the spec of the cars in a moment, but we can hand back down to Parc Ferme in the meantime.
Right, hello everybody, it's almost time for the Caterham Roadsport. So we've come down to do a bit of superhero spotting, would you believe, as well. Here it is, Batman himself is going to be racing. Yes, it is over here, Mr. Adam West himself. Adam, you've probably got the coolest number plate in motorsport, and it's actually got the Bat logo on the back. I don't know if you want to come around and have a little look at that.
On my crash helmet as well, actually.
And on the crash helmet too.
Embrace it.
You've got to embrace it, haven't you? Let's talk qualifying first of all. You happy with how it went?
No, not really. I'm always really nervous in the wet. I knew I could have pushed it, and it wasn't until checker flag when you're just going around, you're like, right, let's see how much grip there is. There's loads of grip. And
oh, really? But that's good for the race though, isn't it? Because you know you can push a bit harder. It's bone dry, the sun is shining now. It's almost perfect conditions, isn't it?
Much better. I know probably the top 5 are like in a different league at the moment, but if I can get near them straight away and sort of hold on to them, you never know.
And I imagine if this is the Batmobile, it's probably got missiles or something that comes out the front. And
I need it. If we can get through scrutineering,
yeah, absolutely. It goes invisible for scrutineering. And the best of luck for the race, right? Thanks for talking to us. We've got Steve Lancaster over here. Just casually enjoying the sun, are we, Steve?
Yeah, just catching some rays while I can.
It's actually quite nice now, isn't it? We've managed to avoid the torrential rain that we thought was coming.
Thunder and lightning, and it's been a day of change, really. But,
it certainly has. I mean, Adam there was just saying during qualifying it was a bit slippy, of course. Is that how you found it?
Oh, yeah, there was more grip than I thought there was going to be, and I didn't really catch on to that until right at the end of the session. And we only get like 4 or 5 laps out of qualifying, so by the time I cottoned on, the dry lines were all right. There's actually quite a lot of grip there. It was time to come in. So.
Do you know, it's exactly what Adam said as well. Does that mean you're confident you're going to go forward in the race?
I'll be happy with top 10, so I only need to move up 1 place, and I'll be happy with that.
Good.
Set the bar low, but you know, I've got to be realistic.
You have. Cheers, Steve. Thanks, mate. Enjoy the sunshine, won't you? Let's just quickly go over here as well, because we've got, I think somebody likes a certain particular fast food chain here as well. We've got Ron over here, Ron Monzi.
79, Lewis Thompson.
Ron, quick word. How are you, first of all? Are you happy with qualifying?
Yeah, very happy with 10th. Yeah, excellent. Especially when it was so wet this morning.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Happy with that.
It's going to be dry now, though.
It'll be fantastic today.
Are you looking for exactly give you a bit of extra confidence?
Yeah, it will, and it's just nice to have a nice dry race and some sun.
I think you guys are going to be lucky, actually. I think a bit later we might not have.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got the. You'll be all right.
I've got 1 wipe, but that's all I need.
Right, enjoy the race. Thanks for talking to us. Best of luck. Right, it is now time for these guys to get out onto the track. So I'm going to hand over to commentator Dave Goddard to take you through the action.
Okay, good to hear from some of the drivers. They're great fun-loving racers, aren't they? The Caterham Roadsport drivers. This championship sponsored by the Forces Motorsport charity Mission Motorsports. Thanks to Major James Cameron and all his team for their efforts. The Roadsport cars, very similar to the Academy cars, which we'll see tomorrow, but with Avon ZZS track-orientated tyres rather than the Avon Academy tyres, and with rear anti-roll bar suspension as well, making them a little more easier handling, reducing body roll and oversteer on the cars. 125 bhp Ford Sigma 1600cc engines. They're on their way up to the grid now. Pole position, that will go to number 11 Taylor O'Flanagan. He's currently 3rd in the points. Number 59, that's a very smart red and white car of Tom Cockerill, is the current points leader. They had a win each at the opening round at Donington Park. Hugo Bush, number 22, who's 2nd on the grid, had some problems at Donington, failed to finish the first race, got fastest lap on his way through the field in the second, but then he won both races at Knockhill in Scotland. He's 6th in the championship in the number 22 car. There is Taylor O'Flanagan, the yellow car on the front of the grid. Reigning Academy champion, number 25 there. That's Dominik Manschberger from Germany. The only left-hand drive car on the grid. He's 2nd in the points at the moment, consistent on the podium in every race so far this season. There's the points leader, Tom Cockerill, ahead of him, number 59, a former international radio control car champion, making the move into car racing, works as an engineer. Very smart cars indeed. We've got everything from Batman to McDonald's on this grid, as we saw in the assembly area. Where is Batman in the points at the moment? Adam West, number 93, 14th place. Didn't score any points at Knock Hill, unfortunately, in the second weekend of the championship. A couple of the cars out there with liveries designed by Carbon Creative. I think that's Taylor O'Flanagan's design company, the pole sitter in this race. There's Batman, number 93. Number 49 there, Lanky, that's Steve Lancaster. There's Nick Timpson, number 4. He's in a car designed by Carbon Creative as well. The livery on that number 4 car, well, look out for that one. It's supposed to be the red and black design inspired by Eddie Van Halen's guitar, he tells us in his driver notes. Well, look out for number 4. So they head round on their final warm-up lap. So Tom Cockerill leads the points, 1 point ahead of Dominic Mansberger. Another point back is Taylor O'Flanagan, and 8 points behind them is Gwyn Jones, number 97. So it's very close at the top of the Mission Motorsport Caterham Roadsport Championship. Much drier here than it was for the qualifying session. Message come in on the YouTube comments from Bruce Campbell, says well done to Sam Bailey on his Caterham debut there. That's great to see. Finished the race despite some damage to the front of his car. Bit of bodywork knocked askew, as we saw. So heading round towards the grid then. This will be a 20-minute race. This is going to be another cracker. There's that lovely red and white car of Tom Cockerill. Reminds me of one of the colour schemes used by Ryan Blaney in NASCAR racing, that one. Number 12 there going through. That's Ron Mounsey. That's the McDonald's sponsored car, so it'll be a Big Mac on the way home if he wins. I think another driver on this grid is actually a McDonald's franchise owner, I read in the briefing notes. I think that's number 81, Adrian Mariadis. Cars coming up to the grid then for the first race of the weekend for the Mission Motorsport Caterham 7 Roadsport Championship. The second step on the ladder of Caterham racing. Most of these drivers have moved up from the Caterham Academy, where they competed last year in their second season of motor racing with Caterham. In pole position, number 11, Taylor O'Flanagan, alongside the number 22 of Hugo Bush, the grey car with the red roll cage and wheels. Second row, 59, Tom Cockerill in the red and white car, the points leader, alongside Dominic Mansberger in black and green, number 25. Gwyn Jones on row 3 in red and black, number 97. Start alongside number 17 of Alex Vincent with his green and black machine. 27 Kevin Turner and 96 Peter Mott on the fourth row. Adam West, aka Batman, number 93 in the Batmobile number 93 car, alongside number 12 Ron Mounsey, Big Mac, completing the top 10. This is going to be another entertaining race. Slightly less powerful cars, the 125 BHP Caterham Roadsports, but no less entertaining. Last couple of cars moving into position at the back of the lineup, with the sun now out here at Silverstone. The track has dried out. These cars all running on Avon ZZS tyres. The green flag waves at the back of the grid then. 20 minutes of Caterham racing coming your way from the Caterham Roadsport Championship once the red lights go out. Revs rise. And off they go. Down towards the first corner. Taylor O'Flanagan in the yellow, number 11 from pole position. The Carbon Creative car gets a good start. Hugo Bush, though, will take the lead into the first corner by the look of it on the inside. They're all away well further back. Number 96 there, Peter Mott in the yellow car. There's Batman, number 93. You can see the symbol on the back of the car of Adam West. They charge their way up towards Maggots and Beckett for the first time. Great start by Dominic Mansperger. It's the pole sitter Taylor O'Flanagan who's got the lead. Mansperger, the German, up into second place. Hugo Busch in third in number 22, and fourth is Cockerill, the points leader, in number 59. They're all round Beckett's okay by the look of things. There's the number 2 and 5 together, Andy Lund and Chris Broom. Now they start to slipstream each other as they come down the Hanger Straight. Dominic Mansperger trying to get around the outside in the 25. Hugo Busch as well. And look at Cockerill up the inside. It's going to be 4 wide on the run into Stowe Corner. I wouldn't like to call that one. I think they're all going to make it round. There's that number 4 car we mentioned with the Eddie Van Halen inspired livery. That's Nick Timpson. Stunning looking cars in this field. They've all made it round Stowe Corner for the first time. Who's going to be leading at club? It's Mansperger and Busch together, and Hugo Busch takes the lead in car 22. Where's Taylor O'Flanagan gone? There he is on the outside. He's holding second place, gets back around Mansperger, who didn't get a very good exit there from the club complex. He's down to 4th behind Tom Cockerill, and in behind him I think it's Gwyn Jones, number 97. Up towards Abbey Corner for the first time. Plenty of place swapping in the midfield. They're slipstreaming each other. Number 81 going through, that's Adrian Mariadas. Tom Cockerill to the inside, holds third place ahead of Mansperger. Then it's Jones, and in behind them is the number 2 of Andy Lund, I think possibly that is. It is, he's made his way up the order quite quickly. We'll confirm that's in. That might have been the number 12 of Ron Mounsey. Leaders are heading onto the Wellington Straight then, under the bridge into the paddock here at Silverstone. Here they come. Hugo Busch, Taylor O'Flanagan, the 2 front row men. 22 of Hugo Busch holds the lead. Took several pole positions in the Caterham Academy last year. Oh, there's a spinner, that's Ron Mounsey. And another man off in the background, number 17, that's Alex Vincent, has had a spin. Oh dear, 2 spinners at Brooklands. Well, looks like there'll be no Big Mac today on the way home for Ron Mounsey. He's had a spin there. In the McDonald's liveried car, he gets going again. Here come the leaders to complete their first lap. It's Busch from O'Flanagan. As I was saying there, took several poles in his season in the Caterham Academy last season. Didn't manage to win a race though. So looking for his first Silverstone win today. He had some success at Knock Hill in the last round. Second place is O'Flanagan, then it's Cockerill. Behind him is Mansperger, then Gwyn Jones. They've broken away at the front of the field. It's 5 alive fighting for the lead. Then Mansperger just clipping the curb there, side by side with Tom Cockerill. Does look super smart, that red and white livery. Gwyn Jones a little bit out of shape there through Beckett's in 5th position through Chapel and onto the Hanger Straights. Who's heading the group for 6th then? It looks like it is the Batmobile of number 93 Adam West that's come through into 6th position. Started 9th. Tom Cockerill goes out wide. They're going to be 3 wide on the run into Stowe Corner there. Behind them there is West coming through on the inside is the green machine, number 38 of Ryan Lovett. He is loving it out there at the moment. They'll slide their way around on the limited grip of these Avon tyres. Regroup into club, and I think Taylor O'Flanagan's taken the lead. Yes, he has. Cockerill up to second. Busch has been shuffled back into 4th place, and now Cockerill goes for the lead. Coming out of the club complex, he's got the inside. He should take the lead here, coming onto the Sir Lewis Hamilton Straight. Yes, he has. So it's Cockerill, the points leader, into the lead. A winner at Donington earlier this season. Somebody running wide onto the gravel there further back but has recovered. It's Tom Cockerill from the number 11 of Taylor O'Flanagan. As they come up towards Village, 3rd place is Mansperger, then Busch, Jones. 6th position we have Ryan Lovett in the 38 car. And behind him is the yellow machine. I think that's Peter Mott next in the order, number 96. Now, did everybody complete the first lap okay? Yes, they did. 26 cars on this grid for the Mission Motorsports Caterham Roadsport Championship. Tom Cockerill defending his lead here as they come down to Brooklands. Taylor O'Flanagan has a look towards the inside. Hugo Busch, the early leader, back in 4th place as here comes Dominic Mansperger to the inside at Luffield. He's going to try and take 2nd place away from Taylor O'Flanagan. He's got the inside line. Side by side on the run towards Woodcote Corner. Looks like Mansperger's going to move through and take the lead, take 2nd place rather. There's the Batmobile under fire from Peter Mott. Next in the order there is the black and red machine. I think that's Andy Lund, number 2. Over the line have gone the leaders. Fastest lap of the race by Gwyn Jones at the back of this group, catching a toe off Hugo Bush there. 5 of them covered by 0.8 of a second as they went across the line. The number 99 is the next car behind Adam West. That's Toby Boys, the black and orange machine we mentioned, not Andy Lund. He's a bit further back. 5 cars line astern through the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Tom Cockerill holding off Taylor O'Flanagan for the lead. Tom Cockerill looking for his second win of the season to keep his points lead. He won the second race at Donington. O'Flanagan won the first. It's Hugo Bush who did the winning at Knockhill. Here they come, 5 of them together. Gwyn Jones is going to try and go around the outside. Manchberger moves to block him. So Flanagan, who's going to come through in the lead on the inside, but Manchberger late on the brakes, he takes the lead. Good move, Dominic Manchberger around the outside there. 6th position is still Ryan Lovett ahead of Peter Mott. Then we've got Adam West. Then it's Toby Boys, and looks like Ron Mounsey, who survived that quick spin and is still there in 10th place. Slide their way through the club complex. Manchberger from O'Flanagan at the front. Cockerill now down to 3rd. Dominic Manchberger, the only left-hand drive car in the race. He leads the way, number 25. 13 minutes of this race still to go. You almost wish it was longer, didn't you? Gwyn Jones up the inside. He's going to take 3rd away in the number 97 car. Which order are they going to come through onto the Wellington Straight and into Brooklands this time through? Further back, it's Lovett 6th, Mott 7th, West 8th, Boys 9th, Mounsey in 10th ahead of Kevin Turner. Number 6 under fire there, it's Marcus Eels coming through the infield loop in the white and red car. The McLaren replica livery from days gone by. Leaders coming up towards Brooklands. Here they come, and it's O'Flanagan who's got the lead this time, ahead of Dominic Manchberger. In fact, he's not in a left-hand drive car, I apologise. He did say prior to the meeting he would be. There's Batman, number 93, going through. Toby Boy is under fire from Ron Mounsey. Further back, number 12. So Flanagan at the line by 1/10 of a second ahead of Dominic Manchberger, who goes to the inside, goes through into Copse. 3rd is still Bush ahead of Cockerill. 5th place we've got Gwyn Jones. Jones trying to close up. Here they come into the Maggots Beckett's complex. Not yet up to half distance in this one, so a long way to go yet. It's a 5-car battle for the lead. Ryan Lovett 6th ahead of Peter Mott, number 96. Peter, a professor at Bath University. Takes all sorts in Caterham racing. He's the black and yellow car a bit further back with Adam West. Batman behind him. Boys and Mounsey around at the top 10. It's Turner, Timpson, Lund, Vincent and Hall, the top 15. As here come the 5 leaders down together into Stowe Corner. Around the outside, look at Hugo Bush in the 22. He's going to take the lead back again. Brilliant from Bush, but O'Flanagan is there alongside him in the yellow car. Who's going to be leading as they come down towards the club complex? It looks like it's going to be Bush on the inside for the left-hander. Inches between them there, and Bush has got the lead. O'Flanagan 2nd. Here comes Cockerill having a look on the inside to attack Manchberger. Jones behind them, and it looks as though Mott has moved through into a 6th place now. Yes, he has, ahead of Lovett, then West. Mounsey's got ahead of Boys for 9th place. Hugo Bush, number 22. Took his first ever Caterham wins last time out at Knockhill. Has the lead. Fastest lap of the race, incidentally, is with Peter Mott, 2:34.559. He's down in 7th. Let's see if he can catch up here. Another magnificent race. It's still yet to come alive, though. We're not yet into the second half of it. A little bit of damage there on the front of Andy Lund's car, I think, just on the left front corner. Andy Lund, the ex-RAF Tornado fighter pilot, now works as an investment banker. Like we said, it takes all sorts in Caterham's. Bush side by side with O'Flanagan into Brooklands Corner. See there the limit of adhesion that they're on. Manchberger up behind them, then Cockerill and Jones. Between these 5 for the lead. It's red, yellow, green at the front of the field. And a gap back to 6, which is now Ryan Lovett. He's got back ahead of Peter Mott. 8th place, Adam Batman West. Ron Mancy 9th in the number 12. Dominic Manchberger to the inside as they come towards Kopp's corner. He's going to try and go from 3rd to 1st, and he's done it. Very daring driver is the German. Lars Hoffmann was out of luck, of course, in the previous race, the 310R, so Dominic Manchberger upholding honour for the German contingent here. He's lost the lead again to Hugo Busch into the complex, so Flanagan trying to come through for 2nd as well. Cockerill holding off Gwyn Jones for 4th. 6th behind them, we have got Ryan Lovett heading the next trio ahead of Mott and West as Gwyn Jones to the inside there. Tom Cockerill's run a little bit wide. The points leader not on the ultimate pace here. The lap time's all about the same, of course, in the mid 234s, 235s. 3 wide for the lead as they head into Stowe this time. Busch on the inside, Manchberger in the middle. O'Flanagan trying to go around the outside. Can he do it? He's trying. I think he's got it. Taylor O'Flanagan trying to retake the lead in the number 11. He just gets ahead there on the outside at Stowe. Mott tries to do the same alongside Ryan Lovett. Here they come into the club complex. Taylor O'Flanagan's got the lead back again, the pole sitter for this race. Manchberger 2nd, Busch down to 3rd. Jones is 4th. There's the battle in the background between Mounsey and Toby Boys, number 99. The next group is headed up, I think that's by Kevin Turner in the number 27, the white car. Manchberger's got the lead back again while that was going on as they headed into Abbey. Here comes Tom Cockerill down the inside. He's going to try and take 3rd place. Came from a long way back there. I don't think he'll quite overhaul Hugo Busch there. Somebody running a little bit wide there through the Exeter Farm corner in the background. That was the number 17 of Alex Vincent. He's recovering from a spin at Brooklands on the opening lap. Leaders will be heading up towards Brooklyn shortly. 7.5 minutes of this Mission Motorsport Caterham Roadsport Championship race to go. Look at Tom Cockerill on the inside. Look at Manchberger around the outside into Brooklands. That's a brave move. Still 5 of them for the lead. So Flanagan, who's got the lead. Manchberger sets himself up nicely for Luffield. Gets the inside and holds on ahead of Hugo Busch. Problems at Donington, meaning he's down in 6th in the points. It's Cockerill with the lead ahead of Manchberger, O'Flanagan, Jones, Alex Vincent and Busch in the points. There's Alex Vincent chasing Kevin Turner, who's lost a couple of spots. O'Flanagan led over the line. There's 0.8 of a second covering these 5. Here comes Tom Cockerill on the inside now. Got ahead of Gwyn Jones, who was ahead of the line. Now attacking Hugo Busch. Here comes Dominic Manchberger trying to take the lead back again up towards Maggots. He's stronger through this section. And he's got the lead on the inside at the left there into the complex. Then the right, the left, the longer right down towards the Hanger Straight. Dominic Manchberger now your leader. Chased by the Carbon Creative car of Taylor O'Flanagan. Busch 3rd. There's Cockerill in 4th place, the ex-Radio Control car champion. Here comes Busch to the outside. O'Flanagan's there on the inside. They've got ahead of Manchberger. They slipstreamed him. Busch back into the lead again in number 22. Slipstreaming Caterham racing at its best once again. Busch has gone a bit wide there, coming out of Stowe Corner. Will he keep the lead into the club complex? They're coming down the Vale. And no, he hasn't kept the lead, or has he? He's on the inside. He lost it briefly there to O'Flanagan. And look at Manchberger at the inside. Where did he come from? He came from way back there and has retaken the lead under braking for club. You can't predict anything in this battle at the moment. This is superb stuff. Here they come, down towards the right-hander. Look at Cockerill, could take all 3 of them here on the inside into Abbey. Watch for Tom Cockerill, that red and white 59 car. No, Manchberger holds the lead in 25. Cockerill is up into 2nd place. O'Flanagan 3rd, Busch 4th, and Gwyn Jones looking on in 5th in the number 97. Now he goes to the inside, takes Hugo Busch. Hugo Busch was leading at Stowe Corner, now he's down to 5th. Shows that even if you lose the slightest bit of momentum, you're back to the back of the line and you have to start all over again. Rest of the pack battle through. Further back it's Mott, Lovett, West, Mounsey and Boys completing the top 10. Nick Timpson's up to 11th in the number 4. But you can't take your eyes off this lead battle. Here they come. Down to Brooklands. Manchberger's got the lead. There's the 6th and 7th cars. Now, are they catching up, Peter Mott and Ryan Lovett? Yes, I think they are. Leaders through Luffield, Manchberger from Cockerill. Here comes Taylor O'Flanagan back at the inside. Gwyn Jones is there on the inside. 4.5 minutes to go. Plenty more Caterham racing still to come. The Batmobile of Adam West, number 93, has been dropped by the two ahead of him. Here comes Gwyn Jones on the inside. Can he take Hugo Bush again? Yes, he can. They cross the line side by side. The 5 covered this time by just over a second. Ryan Lovett, meanwhile, has done the fastest lap. The green car in 7th place. Because all these 5 are holding each other up slightly. They're so busy battling each other, not able to get cleaner laps in. Manchberger from Cockerill. O'Flanagan in 3rd. Yes, these two are definitely catching up. There's Peter Mott. There is Ryan Lovett. I reckon in the last lap we're going to have 7 cars fighting for the lead here and not 5. There's Adam West looking on in the background in 93 in the Batmobile. Here comes Cockerill around the outside in the 59. Can he take the lead of this race for, I think, the first time since lap 1? Yes, he can. And here comes Bush. It's 3 wide for 3rd place around Stowe Corner. There's Peter Mott behind them, the university professor from Bath in the 96 car, trying to catch up as well, along with 38s of Ryan Lovett. Side by side for 4th, still Jones and Bush, and there's Peter Mott to the inside. Somebody got sideways now, I think that was Gwyn Jones, nearly lost it coming out of the club complex. Yeah, he's gone wide through club onto the straight there, so he's going to lose out. He's lost momentum. It's 4 starting to break away. Tom Cockerill from Dominic Manchberger. 3rd place is Taylor O'Flanagan. If anything, they've started to open out just a little bit now, the 2nd and 3rd. Then it's Hugo Bush. Jones, I think, is still there in 5th. Yes, he held off that attack from Ryan Lovett and Peter Mott. There's Adam Batman West in 8th place, number 93. The battle for 9th still between Ron Mountsie and Toby Boys. And well done Alex Vincent, number 11, who's fought back up to 11th after his spin earlier on. 12th is Nick Timpson, 13th Andy Lunn, 14th is number 49, that's Lanky, Steve Lancaster. As meantime the battle for the lead comes down into Brooklands Corner. Dominic Manchberger, 2 minutes on the clock, so this will be the final lap starting this time. It's 4 for the lead now. Have we lost somebody there? Where's Gwyn Jones gone? Yeah, it's Ryan Lovett coming through in 5th. We seem to have lost the number 97 of Gwyn Jones and Peter Mott. There they are. Ah, they must have had a bit of a coming together possibly then and gone wide somewhere out of our view. Side by side for the lead. Tom Cockerill will retake the lead down the inside into Copse Corner. So yes, Jones and Mott both lost time on that last lap. Their last laps were about 6 or 7 seconds slower than those ahead of them, so they've touched wheels or something and run wide somewhere. Manchberger, meantime, takes the lead again from Tom Cockerill. Swing their way through the Beckett's complex, just over a minute left on the clock. Down the Hanger Straight, Dominic Manchberger from Tom Cockerill, Taylor O'Flanagan and Hugo Bush. It's 4 for the lead now. Is it going to be 4 wide for the lead into Stowe Corner? O'Flanagan's going to come through the middle of it all in the lead. Here comes Hugo Bush with a big lunge around the outside. He's good at doing that. Side by side with Taylor O'Flanagan. Manchberger's there on the tighter line. This is incredible stuff. We're on the last lap now of this Caterham Roadsport race. Look at Manchberger at the inside, making it 3 wide. He holds on the inside line. He's retaken the lead. O'Flanagan and Bush side by side. Cockerill's been shuffled back to 4th place. Just think, if all of these tangle, it's going to be Ryan Lovett who comes through from 5th to 1st. I hope that doesn't happen, because we've had a magnificent race with no contact between these 4 at the front of the field. It's O'Flanagan going for the inside into Abbey Corner. Is he going to take the lead away? They head out of sight. Looks like he'd done it. Quick look back at the battle behind. There's Gwyn Jones recovering after a moment earlier on. Gets past the Batmobile, number 93. There's Peter Mott in behind them as well. There's a bit of bodywork flapping now. I think that's Alex Vincent's car, number 17, losing a rear wing. The rest of the midfield pack heads through Abbey, but the leaders are up at the Wellington Straits, waiting for them to run into Brooklands. Here they come, the clock has counted down 0. Look at Tom Cockerill at the inside, they're going to be 4 wide into Brooklands. Hugo Bush and Taylor O'Flanagan together. Taylor O'Flanagan's overshot Brooklands, that's cost him his chance. They're side by side, they're bouncing off each other for a second, but it's Hugo Bush who's come through in the lead. He left it as late as he could. Look at Cockerill completely on the opposite lot there. They run wide through the gravel on the final corner. Oh my goodness, it's all come apart on the run to the flag. It's going to be Hugo Bush in car number 22 who comes through to take his 3rd win of the season. It all boiled over there on the final corner. Well, he was 4th going into the last lap, and Hugo Bush wins it from Taylor O'Flanagan, Dominic Manchberger and Tom Cockerill. It just boiled over a little bit there through Luffield for the last time. It was Manchberger and Cockerill tried to go side by side coming out of Luffield. They bounced wide over the gravel, and that allowed Hugo Bush to get clear, and the 22 car takes the win here at Silverstone. There's been a bit of contact in the midfield as well. Somebody with his nose cone hanging off, couldn't identify who that was. But congratulations, Hugo Bush, number 22. He's certainly making up for the points he lost at Donington at the beginning of the season. He wins by 0.9 of a second ahead of Taylor O'Flanagan and Dominic Manchberger. Well, congratulations to number 22, Hugo Bush. Complained last season he was able to get pole positions in the Caterham Academy, but not win races. Certainly put that right this year in Roadsport. Taylor O'Flanagan in 2nd. Tom Cockerill was absolutely on full opposite lot there through Luffield for the last time. He and Manchberger both bounced wide and ran over the gravel, which cost them their chance of going for the win. O'Flanagan had earlier overshot Brooklands for the last time and gone wide, but he was able to come back through into 2nd place. All that played into the hands of Hugo Bush, number 22, and it's him who takes the win in our first Caterham Roadsports win race of the weekend. The man from Woking in Surrey, 38 years of age. He's very pleased with that indeed. Bush the winner by 0.9 of a second ahead of Taylor O'Flanagan, with Dominic Manchberger in 3rd ahead of Tom Cockerill. Ryan Lovitz headed the next group in 5th ahead of Gwyn Jones, recovering after a minor off in 6th. Adam West in the Batmobile 7th. Then Peter Mott taking 8th place. Good fight back there by number 17 Alex Vincent after his first lap spin to 9th. And Nick Timpson, number 4, rounded out the top 10 ahead of Andy Lund. Ron Mounsey dropped down to 12th in the McDonald's car ahead of Chris Broome. 49 of Steve Lancaster was 14th, and Kevin Turner dropping back to 15th at the flag. 16th place went to Adrian Mariadas ahead of Michael Koo. Then in 18th place was the number 98 of James Hall. Next home was the number 9, which is James Griffiths. Toby Boyd dropping down to 20th. Then Bergbaum, Eels, Griffith, Hilton, Lawson and Firth completing the finishers, all within just over a minute of the race winner. Another Caterham race to come then from the Caterham 7 270R Championship. That will be a 30-minute race before our big race of the day, the Goodyear Brick Car, Endurance and Praga Championship over 2 hours with mandatory pit stops here on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. That's all coming up a little bit later on, and there's plenty more racing to come tomorrow on our coverage as well. We kick off at 9:35 with the Caterham 7 310Rs. A little later on it's the Caterham 7 UK Championship for their second race of the weekend. Then the 270Rs Brick Car Endurance Championship Trophy category with their 2 shorter 50-minute races tomorrow, and all your favourites from the Caterhams, plus the novices in the Caterham Academy getting to race on the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. What an occasion for them this weekend. Well, thanks a lot to all of you so far. Hope you're enjoying the action on YouTube, and we can shortly hand down to Parc Fermé with Ian Waterhouse to talk to some of our drivers from that incredible Caterham Roadsports race.
Hello everybody, welcome down to Park Fermes. I almost get my foot run over by a very, well, there's Dominic Mansberg, came third in the lead and start of that last lap. It was high intensity, high energy, wasn't it, as the cars reversing. Hugo Bush taking the win. There is Taylor Flanagan as well, started the race on pole. Yeah, let's grab a quick word with Hugo as well. Let's just jump in there, shall we? Just let him get stood up first. Get those seatbelts out of the way because he's probably roasty toasty in that car. Here he comes, a man possessed, a man ready. Well, just let him get his helmet off because these cars actually get quite warm, don't they? I imagine so, and he's probably desperate to get that helmet off. Here you go. Congratulations.
Thank
you look like a man desperate to get out of that car pretty quick.
Oh, I mean, that's just so intense. I mean, you haven't got time to think throughout the whole 20 minutes. And I was, you know, I spent most of that race not in the lead, but was kind of happy to, you know, to sit in second, third.
Is it just a case of just stay in the pack, stay in the lead pack, and who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I think the 5 of us broke away, which was helpful because it wasn't a pack of 10; it was a pack of 5.
Yeah.
And then it's just a case of, you know, being in the right place at the right time when the checkered flag goes down.
And you certainly did that, didn't you?
Just about, yeah.
Just about.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Well done. Let's grab Taylor over here as well. Taylor, congratulations. That was an eventful race, wasn't it? So these caterers, they're so exciting to watch. What's it like actually driving one of these in competitive action?
It's mental. It's probably the best word for it.
Yeah.
We're all so close now, and it makes for great racing. And literally, I don't think we touched each other once throughout that race. So you know, start to finish and super close wheel racing. So it's fantastic.
It's fantastic. How good does it feel to be on a podium?
Amazing, especially at Silverstone. Yeah.
Especially, well, is it a special place for you, or is it it's Silverstone, isn't
home
it?
of motorsport, right, for England. So yeah, amazing. Feels great.
Fantastic. Congratulations. There you go, Taylor Flanagan. I'm going to hand back actually because I believe we've got the next race just about to head out on track. So I'm going to hand it back over to your commentator Dave Goddard to take you through the action.
Okay, thanks very much, Ian. Ready for race number 4. This is the Motul Caterham 7 270R Championship. This is the third step on the ladder of Caterham racing, if you like. The car's a little bit more powerful, 270 bhp per tonne, and in pole position after the qualifying session this morning, it is the championship leader, number 34 Blair McConaughey, alongside number 81 Tom Willis. Big rivals in the Roadsports class last season, those two were. Second row, 53 Tim Steele starts alongside 55 of Harry Eyre, and on row 3 Stuart Bell, number 72, alongside 5 Steve Lyle. The fourth row got number 9 Rob Keogh and 73 Dan Clayfan. Row 5, 38 Wes Payne and 11 of Carl Jones. Row 6, number 14 Fraser Jones and 56 David Morgan. On row 7 we've got number 27 Chris Ephraimidis, hope I pronounced that correctly, the Greek-born driver, alongside number 43 Alan Curtis. Row 8, number 8 Daryl Cresswell and number 2 of Dimitris Melas. And row 9, number 99 Michael Curley and 33 Ryan Errol. The 10th row we've got number 40 Paul Farrell alongside number 52 Peter Wales. Row 11 it's 64 Paul Herndon and 48 of Richard Hoare. Row 12 31 John Cox and 13 Duncan Cook. The 13th row number 19 Luke Fryer starts alongside Ollie Smith in the 77. The penultimate row 30 Roger Gaunt and 94 of Stefano Mara, who had an off at Woodcote in qualifying this morning. The final row 18 Mark Lovett and 69 Steve Hutchinson. Well, looking at the points after the first 2 rounds of the year, it was Blair McConaughey who has got 3 wins out of 4 so far this year, a double at Knockhill and 1 win at Donington. The other winner was Will Rossetti, number 29, but he's not out this weekend. The former Academy star, he took the win in the opening round at Donington. Rob Keogh is second in the points, but he's qualified a little way down the order for this one on row 4, so watch for him coming through in the number 9 car. Harry Eyre, number 55, will be in with a chance. He's third in the points. Will Rossetti is fourth in the points, but he's not out. And then we've got Carl and Fraser Jones, 5th and 6th in our points standings. We've been asked to give a shout out to a driver who unfortunately not out this weekend, but should have been in the last race. Roadsports driver Ian Hapgood had a crash in testing yesterday and wrecked his car, unfortunately, so had to withdraw. So thankfully he's okay. So all the best to Ian Hapgood. We hope to see him back out later in the season. So we move up a gear from the Roadsports once again then. This is the 270R Championship, the white and black car of Blair McConaughey in pole position. Look at the car specs in a second for these cars. There's the very bright pink and yellow number 72. No mistaking Stuart Bell's car there, is there? 270Rs. Lars Hoffman was their champion last year. He's moved up to the 310R. He's upgraded his car. These are effectively upgraded Roadsport cars. They have stiffer springs and suspension, wider track front suspension, the windscreens and lights removed. You'll have seen in the Roadsports race those are still in place. Powered by the same 1600cc Ford Sigma engine, but more powerful at 135 brake horsepower with a higher maximum RPM of 7,200. The same 5-speed transmission, open differential, Avon ZZS tyres, but it's the track suspension that makes the difference on these cars, and a slightly lower minimum weight of 620 kilos, including the driver. Those are your specs for this event then. It's Blair McConaughey, the points leader, in pole position, with his rival from last season, Tom Willis, alongside him. Tom is the reigning Roadsport champion. Blair McConaughey was second behind Tom in both the Academy and in Roadsport, so desperate to beat his rival here this weekend. Blair McConaughey all the way from Aberdeen in the north of Scotland, says he's good friends with Tom Willis off track, but on it they are big rivals. He says his shortest round trip to a round of the championship last season was about 1,000 miles from Aberdeen. At least he got to race on home tarmac at Knock Hill last time out, so not quite as far. I'd hate to see his fuel bill for transporting the car, Blair McConaughey. He starts alongside the number 81, Tom Willis. Well, Tom only in as a guest driver. He's not registered for championship points this year. The pack heads through the infield loop. Second row number 53 of Tim Steele. He's 9th in the points alongside Harry Eyre in the 55. He's had a couple of podiums this year. Got fastest lap at Knock Hill as well. Third row Stuart Bell. We've already seen his Dayglow and pink liveried car alongside number 5 of Stephen Lyle. Didn't score at Donington, but well in the points at Knock Hill. So Blair McConaughey, the white and black car, similar colours for Tom Willis in number 81, silver and black. Then in yellow and black we've got the third place car on the grid, Tim Steele, number 53. 73 there, that's Dan Clayfan. This will be a 30-minute race. We'll get a slightly longer race for the Caterham 7 270R Championship, sponsored by Motul. On a dry track, thankfully, here at Silverstone. Cars up to the grid then for our first race of the weekend for the Motul Caterham 7 270R Championship. And in pole position it is the championship leader, number 34, Blair McConaughey, all the way from Aberdeen, starting alongside number 81, Tom Willis, who beat him to the Roadsports title last season, so their rivalry continuing in the next class up this year. Second row, 53, Tim Steele in the yellow car, alongside the 55 of Harry Eyre. That's the British Racing green car with the yellow nose, the old Team Lotus colours. On row 3, 72, Stuart Bell in the pink car, starts alongside number 5, Stephen Lyle. Fourth row, number 9, Rob Keogh, well up in the points at the moment, worth watching from there, and 73, Dan Clayfan. And on row 5, 38, Wes Payne, and number 11 of Carl Jones. Fraser Jones and David Morgan next on the grid. Quite a sizable grid of cars. You should have 30 cars out there for this one. The 270R spec cars, the third rung on the Caterham racing ladder. If you're moving up from Academy, then Roadsports, then it's into 270R. You can upgrade your car. You buy the car to start the Caterham Academy along with your racing package. And then you can keep upgrading from there until you're right up to 310R spec. The Caterham 7 UK cars are bespoke race cars. Just getting the back of the grid into order here. Now the green flag waves and we're ready for 30 minutes of motor racing from the Motul Caterham 270R Championship. Red lights will come on from the gantry. Blair McConaughey and Tom Willis, the two big rivals on the front row of the grid. McConaughey in white and black, Willis in silver. Waiting for the power to come on, and away they go. Down towards Copse Corner for the first time. A decent start by both of the front row men. Dan Clayfan with a good start further back. It looks like it is Willis who may have the advantage on the inside into that first corner. Already starting to duke it out side by side in the pack. Who's going to be leading as they come up towards Maggots and Beckett's for the first time? Looks like it is Tom Willis, number 81, who has taken the lead up into third place around the outside there. It looks like the number 5 of Lyle that's got away well. Steve Lyle side by side in the number 55 car there. Yes, it is Stephen Lyle ahead of the number 55, of Harry Eyre. Running wide onto the grass, somebody there further back. Was that, no it wasn't the number 5 of Steve Lyle, the black car with the orange stripe there. He's held third place, we've got a spinner, number 99 in trouble, that's Michael Curley. Whether he's spun or pulled off at Copse, I'm not sure. The leaders head down and haze of tyre squeal into the right-hand Stowe corner. They're sliding about there, and the two cars run out wide. Establish the order as they come through the Club Corner complex. Here they come, Willis and McConaughey in identical cars from a distance, so it's tricky to tell who is leading there. I think it's McConaughey who's taken the lead. Harry Eyre is next in the order. It's like they've all just about made it round Club Corner okay. Here they come there. There's the pink car of number 72, Stuart Bell, in the middle. He's rather been swallowed up off the start line. They all make their way around Abbey Corner for the first time. There's the number 77 car. It's Ollie Smith coming through from towards the back of the field. Somebody running wide there at the Village infield complex. There's a couple of cars run wide there. One of them was the green machine of Ryan Errol, number 33. I think the other one might have been number 52 of Pete Wales. But they've all survived that. We wait for the leaders to come up towards Brooklands Corner for the first time. Blair McConaughey and Tom Willis locked in battle already at the front of the field. McConaughey to the inside. It is Tom Willis, the silver number 81, who has got the early advantage here ahead of the Scotsman. Third place is the number 55 Harry Eyre, the number plate on the back CU19PAL. CU PAL, he says. To the pack battling behind him for fourth position. We'll establish the order as they come through then. Tricky to pick out the numbers on these cars a couple of times. So apologies for a couple of missed calls. It's Eyre third, Steve Lyle is fourth, 53 in fifth place is Tim Steele, and then sixth we've got number 14 of Fraser Jones. Seventh is the Wes Payne car, number 38, then Bell Keogh and the number 27 of Chris Ephraimidis rounding out the top 10. Leaders together as they head into Maggots and Beckett's. McConaughey retakes the lead, so Tom Willis down to second place. These two starting their battle once again. Don't forget Tom Willis not scoring points in this race. He's not registered for points, only a guest driver. Not contesting the full season this year. Side by side down the Hanger Straights. Down the outside goes Tom Willis, retakes the lead. Harry Eyre going with them. They've dropped the rest of the field. There's Steve Lyle. Behind him is the 53 of Tim Steele. The pack comes through this line astern. Not as frenetic a start as we've seen in the other races today. 73 Dan Clayfan still ahead of 43 of Alan Curtis. A little bit further back. Three cars line astern as they come through. Then the battle for fourth. Tim Steele takes Steve Lyle for fourth position. Behind them I think that's the 14 of Fraser Jones next in the order. Stuart Bell running out wide in the number 72, the pink car further back. Wes Payne may well have moved through into sixth there, number 38 as well. We'll check that as they come through this time. There go the three leaders. Tim Steele's lost out again there to Steve Lyle. It is Payne behind them. Then it is Stuart Bell. Behind him, number 44, I think that is. Number 14, sorry, of Fraser Jones. Still got a long way to go. 25.5 minutes left on the clock. We're only on the second lap of the race. Lead gap was just over a quarter of a second last time through. Here come the leaders. Down into Brooklands corner. Tim Steele side by side with the number 5 of Steve Lyle. There's the number 9 coming through. That's Rob Keogh in the red and black car. In the top 3 in the points at the moment, so needs to improve from there. He was down in 9th at the end of the first lap. Here come the leaders over the lines. McConaughey ahead by 0.3 of a second ahead of Willis. Fastest lap though by Harry Eyre in that number 55 car with the yellow nose in 3rd place. Not quite as frantic as the previous 3 races we've seen here, but they give it time, give it time. Now Harry Eyre starting to get involved in this battle. Steve Lyle still 4th ahead of Steele, Payne, Bell, Fraser Jones, Keogh and Ephraimidis rounding up the top 10. Number 11 has dropped down a long way. That's Carl Jones, started well up. Now we lost Michael Curley at the start. He's retired, the number 99. I think he had problems off the grid and pulled off on the inside of Copse. To the outside goes Blair McConaughey. Look at that battle for 4th behind them. It looks like Wes Payne has now come through. As to the inside goes Harry Eyre. He's going to take the lead on the inside, 3rd to 1st. Now who's going to come through in 4th? They're going to be 4 wide here. Look at the number 9 of Keogh up the inside into Stoke. Oh, look out as they come back across there. Tim Steele just saw in time. It's number 9 of Rob Keogh was there on the inside. Everybody trying to be 4th, but the 3 leaders have got away. Harry Eyre from Blair McConaughey. Tom Willis in 3rd. And then here comes a multiple scrub of Caterhams for 4th place. Rob Keogh's got 4th now ahead of Tim Steele. Then it's Wesley Payne. From behind them I couldn't tell. To the inside goes Blair McConaughey at Abbey. He retakes the lead. Impossible to keep up with this because as soon as you start saying one thing it changes completely by the time you've said it. Here's the 4th place fight. Rob Keogh ahead of Steele in the yellow car. At the inside comes the number 5 of Steve Lyle, the black car with the orange stripe. 23 minutes of this still to go as well. Down the Wellington straight they come. 55 of Harry Eyre. 3rd in the points, best result of 2nd place at Donington this year, looking for his first win of the season. Ahead of Blair McConaughey, Tom Willis in 3rd. Will there be a change as they cross the line this time through? Then a gap back to 4th, which is Rob Keogh. The first 3 have checked out at the front, having their own private race. They're separated by 4/10 as they cross the line. Eyre, McConaughey and Willis. Rob Keogh is 8 seconds off the lead in 4th. It's Tim Steele, Wes Payne, number 5 of Steve Lyle, Stuart Bell, Fraser Jones and Dan Clayfan rounding out the top 10 now. That's probably all changed by the time I've read that to you. Harry Eyre leads through the Maggots Beckett's complex, a little bit sideways there on the right-hander at Beckett's. Could lose a bit of momentum coming onto the Hanger straights. Here they come towards us then. Moving out from behind him will be Blair McConaughey. Tom Willis tries to do the same thing. Let's have a look back at the 4th place fight. Rob Keogh, number 9, has it at the moment. Here comes Tim Steele on the outside. Payne's there on the inside. Then it's Lyle, Bell and the rest of them. And Clayfan's in there too. The black car with the white stripe is number 14 of Fraser Jones. Blair McConaughey to the inside there through Club Corner, and he's got the lead of this now. Who's going to be in 4th? Well, about 10 cars. Wes Payne a bit sideways there through the first part of the complex. Rob Keogh still has it ahead of Tim Steele. .55 of Harry Eyre's retaken the lead at Abbey Corner. 3 leaders through the middle section of the lap at the infield loop. Here's the fight for 4th. Still Keogh ahead of Steele. Going to the inside is Stephen Lyle, number 5. Yeah, it's anybody's race behind them. There's no point in trying, as I said, to keep up with the position changes, because by the time I've told you, it's all changed again. To the inside goes Harry Eyre in the 55 to try to take Blair McConaughey for the lead into Brooklands. Side by side on the run into it. Through goes Eyre back into the lead. 1/3 of the way through this Caterham 270R Championship race. Tom Willis, number 81, still hanging on there in 3rd. What about the battle for 4th? They're heading towards Luffield now. Number 33 there, recovering from a quick excursion at Village earlier on, Ryan Errol. He's at the back of this train. Blair McConaughey to the inside as they come into Copse. He's going to retake the lead yet again. If anything, Rob Keogh's got away slightly into 4th place ahead of Wes Payne. Then Tim Steele and Bell side by side. Stuart Bell in the pink, number 72. There is Rob Keogh, the Motul liveried car run by Williams Motorsports. And we've got that bizarrely coloured car of Wesley Payne next through, sort of pink, purple and silver, depending on which angle you look at it from. Fraser Jones has got ahead of Bell, then Dan Clayfan. Tim Steele's been shuffled back. He must have run wide coming out of Copse. Lost a few places there in the number 53. Here come the leaders. Blair McConaughey to the outside. So does going further to the outside is Tom Willis, trying to go around the outside and take the lead, and I think he's going to do so. Then the battle for 4th. Again, we don't know where to look in this one. Keogh from Payne. It's Jones and Bell side by side. Steele trying to move back up on the number 27 there, the yellow car, Chris Ephraimidis. Chris, half Greek, half American, ex-Mazda MX-5 racer. Based in the UK with his work, so does his racing over here. Used to race in the US. Here come the leaders then. It is Tom Willis that has got the lead back again. You can recognise his car by the red padding on his roll cage there. He's going to lose out here to Harry Eyre into Abbey Corner, the 55. The British Racing green car goes through. Blair McConaughey trying to retake 2nd from his great rival Tom Willis. Willis holds that 2nd place into Village. And it's Keogh and Payne that have got away at the front of the 4th place fight now. Stuart Bell in 6th. 7th Fraser Jones. 8th is Dan Clayfan. You see, because through comes the 27 of Ephraimidis into 8th place. Behind them Tim Steele is down to 10th. Lost a couple of cars in this race. Curley we saw out of the race in 99, and 52 has dropped out as well. Peter Wales as the leaders head down into the left-hander at Brooklands. Tom Willis still there in 2nd, chasing now Harry Eyre. Tries to go around the outside at Luffield. Is that going to work? I don't think it is. Harry Eyre holds the tighter line. Tom Willis tries to get his foot down as early as possible. Blair McConaughey, the championship leader, in behind them in the 34. Midfield pack heading into Brooklands corner. Now McConaughey is on the outside as they run down towards the right-hander at Copse. Tom Willis moves across him. It's Harry Eyre who's still got the lead in 55, looking for his first win of 2021. Willis jinks across to the left. Can he get through at the entry to Maggots and retake the lead once again? He certainly can. Still a long way to go in this Caterham 270R Championship race. 3 cars clear of Rob Keogh in 4th. The order across the line that time through was Payne, Bell, Steele, Jones, Ephraimidis behind them. And Dan Clayfan and the number 2 of Dimitris Melas. There we see them in the background as Tom Willis moves to the inside at Stowe Corner, retakes the lead. Blair McConaughey just keeping his powder dry maybe at the moment, looking to make his move towards the end of the race to try and take the lead. Doesn't want to leave it too late. Is there such a thing as too late in Caterhams though? Who knows? These drivers do. We shall see. Top 3 heads through the club complex. Rob Keogh under fire now from Wes Payne for 4th position in the number 38. Next through is Bell. And then we've got the 27 of Chris Ephraimidis. Harry Eyre back up the inside at Abbey. That's his favoured overtaking spot. He retakes the lead. still line astern as they come through towards Village Corner. There's Payne on the tail of Rob Keogh. 6th we've got the number 72, Stuart Bell, then Ephraimidis, Fraser Jones, Dan Clayfan, there's Tim Steele. He's fallen down the order, then a battle between the orange machine there, I think that's Melas, the number 2, and the 43, which is Alan Curtis. Harry Eyre to the inside, he'll get the lead into Brooklands. Swapping places for fun at the moment, 15 minutes of the race still to go though, so we reach halfway. With a slide there from Blair McConaughey. There's the 27, you can see he's missing a wing. Midfield pack comes through behind, somebody running a bit wide there. That was one of the green machines. It's either Ryan Errol or who was that he was battling with, possibly Morgan in the 56. Leaders covered by 3/4 of a second as they cross the line. There's Rob Keogh through in 4th position. Wes Payne still can't close him down, that extraordinary liveried car of Wes Payne, number 38. Next up after this, it will be the Brick Car Goodyear Endurance Championship with Praga. And I've just been sent the starting drivers for that one, so thank you Steve Wood, the Brick Car press officer. We'll move on to that in a little while. 3 leaders away at the front then. Here's the 4th place fight. Trying to go around the outside is Wes Payne. He's finally got through. Finally caught and passed Rob Keogh. Now here comes Stuart Bell in the 72. 27 of Chris Ephraimidis. So they're spreading out into small groups here. We've got 13.5 minutes of this Caterham 7 270R Championship race to go. There go the leaders, Harry Eyre, Tom Willis. Third place is still Blair McConaughey. Here's the battle of 4th. Here comes Stuart Bell. He's all over them. Look at him jinking across there as they came through Village, trying to get around Rob Keogh, but he's on the outside for the right-hander, trying to set himself up for the left-hander at the loop. As they chase their way through further down the order, swapping places all the time. The main focus now is the battle for 4th and 5th. The leaders have just completed Sector 2. Their lap times are almost identical, but still Harry Eyre in the 55 ahead of Willis and McConaughey. They seem to be holding station for the moment. Maybe they're waiting until a little later on to start to really bust some moves at the front of the field here. There's Fraser Jones, number 14. Clayfan heads this group. That's the blue number 2 car behind him, possibly. No, he's in orange, isn't he? Sorry, Dimitris Melas, it's not him. Leader clips the curb there on the inside of Cop's corner. That could throw him wide. That's losing him a bit of momentum. And look at Tom Willis taking advantage there up the inside. He noticed straight away that Harry Eyre had clipped that curb and he's taken the lead from him. Good driving by Tom Willis in the 81. Intelligent driving. Knew that 55 wouldn't quite have the momentum down that short blast into Maggot's corner. And Harry Eyre down to second in the classic green and yellow of Team Lotus. Of course, Colin Chapman came up with the original design that the Caterham is based on, the Lotus 7. The Nern family, Graham Nern, who founded the Caterham Car Company in Caterham, Surrey. As Harry Eyre retakes the lead there and has built these cars ever since. Rob Keogh still side by side with Wes Payne. The 72 car showing us having a penalty. Now, 5-second penalty for car 72, Stuart Bell, for exceeding track limits. That's the pink car. There he is at the back of these 4. Very easy to run wide onto those tarmac runoff areas. You mustn't do it too often, or you may get penalised. That's as Stuart Bell has received. Now 5 seconds added to his race time. That'll lose him a few places. He's currently in 6th place. That'll drop him down to about 9th or 10th. There go the leaders. Tom Willis back in front. ahead of Harry Eyre. Here's a battle further back in the order. Number 19 heading this group, that's Luke Fryer in the black and red car there. He's in the tail end of this group. That's the number 33, Ryan Errol. We saw him have a bit of an off earlier on. Ryan Errol, he's running a little further down the order than usual in 17th place. But there are battles everywhere you look in this Caterham 7 270R event. Here come the leaders down towards Brooklands. Tom Willis on the inside, Harry Eyre to the outside, Harry Eyre defending there. Good racing between these two. Blair McConaughey is just happy to sit and watch for the moment. And he'll make his move when he's ready. Towards the end of the race, he'll try and surprise them. Next group heads through. This is further back in the order. There's the number 5 of Stephen Lyle. He was up with the leaders early on. He's dropped down to 15th now, sliding there through Brooklands. Tim Steele is in there with him in the 53 as well. They qualified well, but have dropped down the order. Still these three well out in front, covered by 0.4 of a second as they cross the line. And now Blair McConaughey looks to be lining up a move here. Yes, here he goes. Trying for the inside there, trying to make it 3 abreast on the run into Maggots. But no, the 55 of Harry Eyre holds his lead. Oh, we got a tangle there. That's the 4th and 5th place cars gone. In the gravel, Wes Payne and Rob Keogh, they've collided while fighting for 4th place in the gravel at Copse. So there'll be yellow flags out there, and that's going to change things further back. That's Wes Payne. It looks as though Rob Keogh has hit the back of him. You can see the damage there, and both those cars very much out of the race. The drivers look okay though. So there'll be yellow flags out at Copse Corner. So now in 4th place it is Stuart Bell. We know he's got that penalty though, so moving up on him is Chris Ephraimidis. He's going to go through into 4th as they go into Stoke Corner. Behind them Fraser Jones. Now who's in the next group? We've got number 8, which is Darryl Cresswell. And behind him 43, which is Alan Curtis. They'll be moving up places next. Here's the group further back. There's Ephraimidis, he's now 4th in the 27, the Greek driver. Stuart Bell is next, then Fraser Jones, and then the next group. Well, there are the leaders, and Harry Eyre has dropped down into 3rd place because McConaughey's come through into 2nd there. We were watching the incident at Copse Corner. Bell back up the inside to retake 4th, then it's Fraser Jones. The next group headed by Darryl Cresswell. There he is, number 8. And behind him he has got Dan Clayfan, I think that is in the 73 car. There's the fight for 4th. Jones has got nobody to race with in 6th place. Then the next group is for 7th, headed by Cresswell. Then Clayfan, Lyle. The 43 in there, the silver car, is Alan Curtis. Here come the leaders, and it's Blair McConaughey, I think, who's come through. Yes, as they go into Brooklands, McConaughey has finally made his move. I said he might wait till towards the end of this race. We've got 7.5 minutes left on the clock. Coming up towards the line to complete another lap. Ephraimidis has got 4th place back again, 9 laps completed, and it is Blair McConaughey who has completed 9 laps. 0.666 of a second covered these three as they completed that lap. Number of the beast. Ephraimidis now 4th, then it's Bell. He'll be dropped down by that penalty, of course. Then Fraser Jones. Dan Clayfan is up into 7th. Yellow flags, of course, are out at Copse. We saw the recovery vehicle there, removing Payne and Keogh's cars. Here's the group further back. Number 11 is in there, that's Carl Jones. Didn't make the best of starts, but he's fought back in the green and black car. Still the overlapping goes on. Here comes Tom Willis attacking his great rival Blair McConaughey. Round the outside, Willis retakes the lead. There's a bit of lapped traffic there as well. Who is that? I'll pick up who that is. It's the 77 car. That's Ollie Smith. He must have had a problem. He's been into the pits. That's why he's been lapped. He's made a pit stop, so he's had some sort of a problem. 31 there is John Cox. Through come the 3 leaders. John Cox, where's he running? 18th place. So the reason Ollie Smith is a lap down, I thought he'd dropped back quickly. He's been into the pits. Here come the leaders. Down towards Abbey. To the inside is Blair McConaughey. He's going to retake Tom Willis for the lead. Now they're starting to drop Harry Eyre, if anything, very slightly. His last lap was about half a second slower than the two ahead of him. It's closed back up there under braking for Village. Here's the fight for fourth. Bell against Ephraimidis. It'll be Academic and the end, of course. Fraser Jones keeping up in the number 14 and 6. And everybody else is trying to fight for seventh. We've got Carl Jones, Steve Lyle, Dan Clayfan, number 8 of Darryl Cresswell, 43 of Alan Curtis, the number 2 of Dimitris Melas. 5 minutes of the race to go. So we'll have at least 2 or 3 more laps of this. Blair McConaughey and Tom Willis still side by side. McConaughey who leads through Brooklands and Luffield this time around. Blair McConaughey looking for another victory here. Scored 3 wins so far this year out of 4, beaten by Will Rossetti in the first round at Donington. Doesn't want to be beaten again here at Silverstone as he starts to gun for the championship. McConaughey, Willis and Eyre covered by 3/4 of a second this time through. Eyre still trying to close back up again in the 55. Bell and Ephraimidis 4th and 5th, then Jones, Lyle, Carl Jones, Clayfan and Steele rounding up the top 10. We haven't forgotten about number 53 Tim Steele, who dropped back in the early stages having started well. Grid a bit shaken up by the wet qualifying session earlier on. Here come the leaders down the hanger straight, going to the inside is Tom Willis. Harry Eyre goes to the inside as well. Eyre's trying to go to the inside of both of them. 3 wide as they go into Stowe Corner. There's Bell in 4th place, but his demise is inevitable, of course, at the flag because he needs to be 5 seconds clear of Chris Ephraimidis. He's not going to achieve that with only 3.5 minutes to go. Who's going to be leading as they come through towards Abbey this time? It is Harry Eyre. He made that move stick at Stowe Corner, but straight back up the inside is Tom Willis in the 81 car. He retakes the lead now in the silver machine, number 81. Blair McConaughey in behind them. He's going to try and sneak round Harry Eyre now to attack for the race win. Maybe he knows that Tom Willis is not registered for points this year. He doesn't need to overtake the 81 to score the maximum points available. He just needs to get ahead of Harry Eyre. Of course, this will harm Rob Keogh's championship challenge because he's out of the race, tangled with Wes Payne. We've lost Dimitris Melas as well into the pits, I can tell you. Here's a replay of a moment up at Maggots and Beckett's. See what happened here. That's the number. Oh, and who's that going off? The number 48 car buries it in the gravel. That's Richard Hoare. He's not going to get out of there in a hurry. Richard Hoare being recovered by the marshals there. I thought we'd lost another car further back, and that's who it was. Number 18 goes through that. That's Mark Lovitz. He's towards the back of the field. Here's a battle between the 69 and 19 cars. 69, the green car, Stephen Hutchinson, who started from the back of the grid, and number 19 is Luke Fryer. The leaders are heading through Copse Corner, and they're into their last lap now because they're less than 2 minutes on the clock. The lap takes quick lap takes 2.5 minutes in these cars. There's yellow flags at Maggots and Beckett's because of that car of 48 Richard Hoare being recovered from the gravel. Runs a design engineering company. Couldn't engineer a way out of there though, sadly. Coming towards the end of this one then. Here come the leaders down towards the right-hander at Stowe Corner. Harry Eyre goes to the outside, takes the lead, and now Tom Willis will try and slipstream him back again. Blair McConaughey's going to the inside of them both. They're coming towards Club Corner for the final time. With 1 minute left on the clock. There's the 43 with the... He's going to need some bespoke fiberglass, isn't he, Alan Curtis? Because he's missing one of those wings. He's going to need to make a new one. Harry Eyre leads it then, chased by McConaughey. Now, this is the time for Blair McConaughey to make his move. He needs to get ahead of Harry Eyre here. Eyre knows that. He moves to defend as they go into Abbey. This is the moment we've been waiting for all race long. What's Blair McConaughey going to do? He won't get the inside line away at Abbey Corner. They disappear out of sight for a moment, then up towards the complex at Village and Farm. Harry Eyre hanging on. Tom Willis putting pressure on as well from third place. We start to come through towards the end of the lap now. It's going to be checkered flag, I think, this time through. Of course, they don't need to beat Tom Willis here, but they want to for pride anyway, because Tom not scoring points. Harry Eyre at the inside as they come down into Brooklands. It was McConaughey who was ahead down the straight. They're side by side. They're sliding wide on the exit there. Willis is up the inside. They don't need to worry about him, as we've said. Blair McConaughey back up the inside. He just wants to beat Harry Eyre home. He's got the inside. He's almost on the grass there on the inside of Luffield. It's going to be a win, I think, for Tom Willis, but who's going to be at home for the top point score behind him? Willis only a guest driver. He's going to take the flag in first place. It's McConaughey who gets there by a margin of 0.08 of a second. So McConaughey gets the top score. Harry Eyre comes over in third overall and second of the point scorers. And who's going to come home in fourth place on the road? It's going to be Ephraimidis just ahead of Bell, I think. But Bell, of course, has that penalty applied. He drops to 6th behind Fraser Jones. Next home is Stephen Lyle. Then we've got Chris Jones, Tim Steele and Dan Clayfan round out the top 10. Well, number 81, Tom Willis, takes the victory, but of course he doesn't score points towards the championship. He's only a guest driver, not contesting the full season this year. So the top point score will go to Blair McConaughey. He just beat Harry Eyre by 0.08 of a second over the line. Harry Eyre, though, got the point for fastest lap. Fastest lap of 2 minutes 29.998. The only lap to dip under 2 minutes 30 all race long. So Harry Eyre gets a point for fastest lap, but it's a win and 25 championship points for Blair McConaughey. And the victory goes to Tom Willis, although he doesn't pick up points. So in a way, they're all winners, the first 3 cars home in that one. Whether McConaughey and Eyre let Tom Willis go there. Oh, look at the state of this car coming through. Who's that with his nose cone buckled and in the air? That's number 31, I think, of John Cox. And there's damage for 69 as well of Chris Hutchinson. Stephen Hutchinson, I should say. So there's been a collision somewhere in the pack on that last lap, unfortunately. Last couple of cars make it home. Mark Lovett across the line, number 18, and then we'll bring you the results of that race. Then we'll hand down to Ian, and I'll get the starting drivers noted down for our next race on Brick Car. Tom Willis, the winner, though, by 0.327 of a second, ahead of Blair McConaughey, who takes the top points ahead of Harry Eyre by a couple of hundredths of a second. Fourth place went to Chris Ephraimidis ahead of Fraser Jones. Stuart Bell had that penalty applied and drops to 6th ahead of Stephen Lyle in 7th. Carl Jones, is 8th ahead of Tim Steele and Dan Clayfan. 11th for Darrell Cresswell. 12th place went to the 56 of David Morgan. 13th was number 33 Ryan Errol. 14th for Alan Curtis, missing a wing. And 15th place went to the 30 of Roger Gaunt. Now, and then coming through from the back was Stefano Mara, finishing ahead of the number 40 of Paul Farrell. Luke Fryer was next home in number 19. Then the rather battered car, number 31, John Cox, ahead of the number 18, which is Mark Lovett. 69 of Hutchinson was the next finisher home. 77 of Ollie Smith, of course, finished the lap down after a pit visit, and the remainder of the field were non-finishers. Let's put a big dent in Rob Keogh's championship challenge, tangling with Wes Payne while fighting for 4th and going into the gravel. Hopefully they can repair their cars for tomorrow's race. And we can now hand down in just a moment to Ian Waterhouse down in Parc Fermé to speak to our top 3.
Hello everybody, welcome down to Parc Fermé here. As you can see the cars, in fact Tom Willis, your race winner, actually just went round the wrong way as you do, but here is Blair McConaughey, who came in second place. Let's grab a quick word of him whilst we wait for Tom, your race winner, to come round. Here he is. Blair, that was fast and furious, wasn't it? Tell us about it.
It was just chaotic from the start. I think myself and Tom, we had a little game plan. We didn't really want to get caught up with any of the fuss that was happening behind, so both of us tried to get away. If there was an opportunity for him to overtake, I'd let him happen. We worked together basically to try and get ahead of the group, but Harry managed to latch on. As soon as Harry latched on, that was just frantic right up until the end of the race. So fantastic race, really enjoyed it, and really well driven by the other two podium drivers.
It's fascinating to watch. It's like a high-speed game of chess almost, isn't it? And of course getting the toes around Silverstone is vital, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think I was going to overtake Harry just before getting onto the back straight, and I decided against it, knowing that you're going to get the toe, and it was kind of the right choice, but Harry's got a strong car. I struggled to get past, and I outbroke myself, so I'm actually quite happy to come in second, because it could have easily fallen off the third there.
Excellent, congratulations Blair, well done. Thanks for that. Let's go grab a quick chat with Tom Willis. I saw him pulling in, it was all fist pumps. Tom, congratulations.
I can't hear anything.
Yeah, no, I'll let you, there you go. Oh, look, there you go.
That's better.
I was just saying, Tom, I just saw you driving, you actually went the wrong way.
Yeah, I know, I didn't know what I was.
The adrenaline, the speed, the excitement, and the close racing. It's great for us to watch. What's it like behind the wheel?
Oh, incredible. It was a bit of a waiting game. We were just sort of changing position, jostling, and then was patient on the last lap, and it paid off for me. So, but yeah, that win was a really good one for me, actually. Really happy with that.
Fantastic. I can see it, Tom. Well done, mate. Congratulations, buddy. Let's grab a quick word of Harry Eyre over here as well. Harry, how was that for you? Congratulations, you're on the podium.
Thank you, yeah, it was a really tough race. I threw away at the end there with a mistake, but halfway through I saw a 5-second penalty board, and I presumed it was for me because I fell off a few times, so my heart sank and I kind of dropped back, and then as I followed the other two, they were falling off a bit, and I was like, come on, let's go for it. And just at the very end I made that mistake and fell back to third, but yeah, really pleased with my drive.
Great, that's what I like saying. Of course, learned a lot, and there's still more to come this weekend as well.
Oh yeah, looking forward to tomorrow. I like the rain, if it's going to rain tomorrow, so hopefully I can get back here again.
Isn't it? But who knows?
I know, yeah. I'm looking forward to it.
Top man, Harry. Thanks for talking to us. Congratulations again. Right, that rounds out the action for the Caterhams here today, but don't worry, there's plenty more action to bring you tomorrow. It's been a feast of fast Caterham motorsport action today. I've been your host for it, Ian Waterhouse. Until next time, drive safely.